So let's get into it. Let's get into it. What is this? Is this what y'all wanted me to watch? The Chicago scene rebrand his page? Let's see this.
Copyright disclaimer under Section 107. In 2018, Lil Durk.
All right, I'm gonna watch this, but later. Like, I love this guy's videos. I love this like ominous music in the background. That shit's fire. This shit's fire. Anyway, welcome to my people on YouTube. Sorry I kept you waiting. 42 minutes late over there. But I am here today. What's good with y'all? Okay, the chat didn't pop up yet. It should pop up in a second. Should pop up in a second. Yeah, we are live though. Okay. So this is the story of Lil Durk, and it's going to explain the RICO.
And now within a 2-year span, he lost both Von and his brother, the two people closest to him, at the scene. A 40-year-old man who happened to be walking out with him was also...
Okay, let me skip to where the RICO kind of comes in.
Music video for AHHH, which dropped a month after Stefan was killed. Mike City/Gator Gang is a BD set based around 86th.
Okay, they're basically saying that Durk put the guy in the video that supposedly killed the dude that killed his brother. Which, hey, listen, y'all used to get at me about the war in Chirac. This is way more descriptive. Like, I used to watch this shit and be like, yo, this nigga, he know everything.
And Morgan, and they are allied with DTE, Daytown Entertainment, a set that used to be the same as Lamron before internal conflicts cooled the friendship. Even so, TTE and Lamron remain close.
Okay.
Sound. The deluxe edition included tracks like Risky, where...
Now, I'm going to have to watch this like when I'm doing like a gambling stream. I can put it in the background because, you know, I love watching this video, but top of the stream, I don't think we could tolerate this right now.
Arriving in Los Angeles, the co-conspirators allegedly used OTF-associated credit cards to book flights and hotel accommodations for the shooters. In one reported text, co-conspirator 1 reportedly instructed another co-conspirator, "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me," suggesting an effort to avoid direct traceability. On August 19, 2022, the defendants, Brown Eyes, Dida, Flocka, Vonnie, OTF Boogie, and an unnamed second shooter, co-conspirator 2, split into two vehicles, a white BMW and a white Infiniti. Their first stop was a hotel in downtown Los Angeles, where they had learned that Quando Rondo was staying. After waiting, they spotted Rondo and his entourage leaving the hotel in a black Cadillac Escalade. The defendants followed the Escalade to a marijuana dispensary on Flower Street, appearing to wait for the right moment to strike, but no opportunity presented itself.
All right.
They then tailed as part of the evidence. In War About It, featuring 21 Savage, he raps about the video showing Quando Rondo screaming no, with lines like, "And them people heard they man's scream, they gotta turn the sound off. Since he died, just come outside and go to war about him." He say, "No, I'm thinking he let a hoe got him." He say, "No, I say, let's go to war about it." Where he go? "You better know the morgue got him." Durk also takes direct aim at Quando in Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy, rapping, "I think 'bout my brothers that I lost. I'm in my feelings, it's so fed up that I'd rather get revenge instead of millions, and saying my name for clout. But in them street documentary,
okay.
this
is like walking through. Like we'll watch this another time. All right, people. Yeah, rest in peace, Pop Smoke. All right, what should we start off by talking about it initially? Let me see what y'all got going on. Who dating? Y'all suggest some topics. This Drake lawsuit shit is so exhausting, people. I kid you not. OVO fans are like so upset at me. They feel like I've switched up on Drake. Like they want me to like basically say that this lawsuit is like the final. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? I do not understand this damn lawsuit. Sue Kendrick. That's still my thing. Anyway, we do have some more updates about what's going on with this lawsuit, and it's, you know, I think because, first of all, we don't know what's going to happen in court. We're in a discovery phase, and I've told you all about this phase. It's all about, we want these people to get deposed. We want this information that we think this person is what they call a custodian for, which means you're in charge of keeping or you have access to this information. And, Drake is asking for a lot. He wants to see contracts. He wants to see paternity results. He wants to see every motherfucking thing. He wants to see Spotify deals. He wants to see everything. He wants to see birth certificates, STD results. You know what I mean? Is the kid day freeze? He wants to see everything. And, obviously, I think he's throwing a lot of shit at the wall, hoping some of this sticks. We don't know how it's going to turn out in court. I've actually predicted, and I'm going to stick with my prediction, I don't think this goes to court. I think eventually both parties are going to settle. We have to think about this. I know a lot of people, and this is where, I think, obviously I'm a Drake fan, but I deviate from some of the OVO standum because they're thinking in hive-like mentality where, this is the way Drake is going to win whatever. No, you know what I mean? I'm always going to support an artist if they felt they were wrong by the label, but the idea that the makeup for the battle or what will make everything make sense and why the battle may have not been in the favor of Drake or seen publicly in the favor of Drake is because it will be exposed that the labels did something. I'm just sorry to say, I'll firmly say, despite I believe Drake out-rap Kendrick, Drake's my favorite artist. I think the culture dance have spoken. You know what I mean? It is what it is. We got to be able to accept the results. So, I'm not living in that world, but there are some people that are hinging on this lawsuit they're like, no, this is going to tell the story. Now, for me, I think this lawsuit is really all about Drake wanting his money. This is, I don't think this is necessarily, this is how I'm going to get Kendrick. And if it was even closely to be that, I still say sue Kendrick. So I think Drake realized that, Universal may have had some incentives. He's trying to prove a theory. If it works, good for him. Fans so invested into this lawsuit, I just don't get it. You get what I'm saying? To me, a more interesting lawsuit would have been if Kendrick was involved. But whatever. Seems like he's involved regardless by proxy because they're asking about a lot of things, including even contracts. And there was another thing that was agreed upon supposedly in court where they're saying that they will allow for Kendrick's contract to be posted and not posted, to be seen by Drake and his team, but it will be in person that they don't have to make this document available that it gets leaked, right? I think they said the redactions are plainly proper, and they treat these contracts as attorney eyes only. But there's another thing, and I don't know if OVO Docket is posting everything about this, but let me see. Kendrick contract. Again, I solely think this won't go to a trial. I think Drake wants his money. He's gonna get some money in the agreement that they're gonna re-sign a deal. I think some people have these theories that Drake is gonna go independent. I think not. I think he's gonna stay with the home team, UMG. But I do think that he feels that they're playing with him and he's trying to get shit right. And again, we have seen people go at their labels, whether it's Taylor Swift, who she went at not only labels but DSPs, and it'll all get played out. So apparently, Universal says accordingly, Drake's demand for an unredacted copy of Kendrick Lamar's full contract, which, by the way, I think that's bullshit. Kendrick contract got nothing to do with the battle, bro. I'm gonna just be honest with you, got nothing to do with the battle. Now I get the theory he's trying to say, supposedly Kendrick signed a contract late April, April 27th, days or a week before he dropped Not Like Us. And people feel like in the contract, it probably speculates or stipulates that if he attacks Drake and is successful, he will get maybe more. I don't think it's as facetious as that. You know what I mean? Bruv, Kendrick is exactly who he said he was, the biggest hater. I think he sat back and said, what's the most harmful thing I could say against this guy? By the time I'm done with this guy, he's going to be seen as the biggest. He's going to be the EDP of the music industry. So I don't think the label was in cahoots with that or whatever. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, I would think that the label would think that Drake would win that battle. Like, the idea that if you knew how dumb label people were, like, they don't know what people are gonna like really cater to. So the idea that they're like at some desk with Kendrick or Kendrick's label or Interscope was a subsidiary and saying, yes, after you drop this, he's done. No, I think it popped off, and these labels, they don't give a fuck about Drake, Kendrick, or whoever. They'll sacrifice one for the other as long as they got contracts with both, right? So that's what I personally think. Now, obviously, Drake thinks differently. That's all good. I'm just in a concerned state for fans, because I think Drake fans are too reliant on this lawsuit proving something. And I'm still sticking on the point, it matters none and changes nothing in the battle. The only thing that will ever make the battle look different in hindsight is if Drake puts out great music and shows that despite Kendrick taking definitely his best shot, and maybe a year that wasn't the best for Drake, Drake came back and was stronger. That's it with me. For the people who are hoping that lawyers end up winning a battle or changing the perception of a battle, the only people who really care about the nitty-gritty and ins and outs of this battle are heavy Drake fans and heavy Kendrick fans. The rest of the casuals do not care, okay? And that's how I think. And by the way, what's so funny? I'm seeing the Drake fans do the same thing as Kendrick fans. Kendrick fans, when you would criticize Kendrick for him being fake woke or, them reading too much into his lyrics, they were like, yo, you just don't get it. It's going over your head. Drake fans are doing the exact same thing to me now. I'm saying, yeah, I get the lawsuit, but it's still stupid and we shouldn't give a fuck. When have we ever give a fuck about a man's negotiations with his label? Like, if he sues and he wins, good. But if he doesn't, because he's not suing Kendrick. So if he sues and wins, good. If he doesn't win, whatever. But fans are like, nah, you don't get it. Drake is here to expose everything. And I'm like, brother, okay, if that's what you think is going on, all right, fuck it. Okay, so they said, accordingly, Drake's demand for an unredacted copy of his full contract should be denied. At minimum, the court should conduct an in-camera review, which means that, they would be able to review the contract before ruling on the motion. Okay. So look like they're saying that the judge should probably look at it and be like, hey, do they need to see these things? And I think they're trying to make sure that the contract doesn't get leaked, honestly, right? Again, me personally, just being honest, I really just don't think that Kendrick's contract has anything with Drake in it. Bro, I've seen a million record contracts. Like, the idea that a record contract exists to say, if you diss Drake and call him a pedophile, we'll give you X, Y, Z amount of money, just sounds crazy. Bro, I'm gonna just be honest, all right? Plaintiff demands that UMG produce an unredacted version of the document. Okay. Plaintiff also requests that UMG adds that as a custodian, he signed the agreement. So Interscope and Kendrick Lamar signed an agreement April 27. Now, and here's the thing. Sometimes it might feel like I'm double talking, but I kind of understand in theory. I do. I understand in theory why Drake might be interested in these things. So here's how these things go. Artists are contracted to drop music per album. They're not contracted to drop Lucy songs just to heat up. So when the battle starts, and essentially these are a collection of songs that are going to be on DSP because the label sees massive revenue opportunity, they might have to do what's called an addendum to his current deal to say, hey, listen, for these singles, this is how we're going to treat them, right? I think that's natural and normal. Shit, they might even have to do it for Drake, unless, they might just consider all the music that Drake drops because he was in a behemoth of a deal. My point is, I'd be really shocked if I seen that UMG included anything in Kendrick's contract that was incentivizing him to disrespect Drake, to call Drake a pedophile, or anything of the sort. And I'm just being honest. I'm just being honest here. You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not switching up on Drake. I'm just being honest, bro. It just sounds stupid, right? Okay. Now, here's the thing. I think Drake is playing legal games. You know, his lawyers are just prying. Yeah, of course we want to see everything, right? We want to know how much Kendrick is getting. We want to know exactly his splits, right? This is like a legal way of like finding some shit out. You get what I'm saying? What the fuck is this? Okay, whatever. Okay. So I guarantee this deal that they're talking about on April 27th was a deal that was with the battle about how those songs were going to get released. It's probably an addendum, right? So it's like you have a licensing deal. Kendrick probably licensed maybe two albums or 3 albums to them. And then he doesn't have to drop any more music on Interscope outside of those albums. But he gets in a rap beef and he wants to drop like 4 or 5 songs. Because those songs are ultimately never going to live on an album, the label wants to monetize them because they're getting a lot of traction. They go to Kendrick. They say, yo, check this out, buddy. We want to monetize these songs even though we know you're not going to put them on an album. Let's do some deal that kind of includes how this will be done. Now, again, you know, I'm not ruling out that maybe some part of the contract says you must say fuck Drake, but like that sounds absurd, but whatever. Okay. All right. Okay. So the next thing is supposedly UMG. I don't even know where all these documents are coming from, but they're coming out like every day. So the next thing was that UMG has came out and they're now saying that they have information about Drake, or they have discovery about Drake and maybe allegations of minors. Listen to this. This is kind of a little bit odd too. Let me see if I can find it. Now, I should go to the original thing because, like, both fan groups are posting little tidbits of what they, you know, they want to, like, harp on. Okay. So this is supposedly it. So UMG has now stated that it has in its possession. So it's basically saying to Drake, the
information use would be
okay. It's responding to Drake and it's saying, hey, listen, we have in our possession or custody the following categories of documents that might be used to support our defense, unless they would be used for solely impeachment. First of all, we do have the contracts between UMG and Drake, and we have contracts between the relationship between Drake and UMG, which is pretty much almost the same thing. We have the other recordings in Drake and Kendrick Lamar rap feud, and the documents concerning the distribution, marketing, and promotion of all the records in the feud. They're saying the petition entitled Art on Trial, Protect Black Art. Okay. It said we have other recordings by Drake. What the fuck? And documents concerning the same, including but not limited to what? Whatever. Okay. Then this is like the important part. It says there's news reports and documents concerning Drake's relationship with and behavior around minors. 2, or not that was 1. 2, the criminal charges and conviction of Baka Not Nice. 3, the rap feud between Drake and Lamar, including but not limited to the documents appended as Okay. I think I should try to pull up this full document. Now, I see a lot of people saying, oh my God, they have the files on Drake, that Drake is a PDF. What this is more likely alluding to is that they have done their due diligence or research, or maybe people have even came at them with a demand letter or some type of lawsuit about Drake that could be involved in those things. And they're just saying there's some information that they might have that they could turn over that supports these, allegations, but also supports why maybe somebody like Kendrick Lamar might say that. Let me see if I can pull this whole document up. I should have did it before stream. Sorry. Okay. And this is where I say, like, you know, we've turned into politics. Like, I think Drake fans are bugging. I think Kendrick fans, they've been bugging. And really, it's not regular Drake fans. And it's not regular Kendrick fans. It's the fucking K-bots. So, like, okay, what the fuck? No. All right. It's the K-bots. So, like, I don't believe that Universal has, like, a smoking gun saying Drake fucks kids. Like, that sounds fucking stupid. But like a label who, just like how Drake is suing his own label for a rap battle or for the byproducts or a song that came for the rap battle, if someone was going to try to sue Drake, they would most likely, hold on. Wait, that's a fake document? Oh no. All right, well, good. I'm on Pacer anyway. All right. I'm hearing that this is a fake document. You see, that's the thing. Both sides are like doing dumb shit. Parties, is it last? Let me see. Okay. Fans have gotten so ridiculously crazy at this point, you can't trust either side. And it's kind of sad. You can't trust either side. You have to literally go find the full document yourself. So you know what? I got the whole thing up on this computer. I'm gonna pull the last couple documents. Jesus Christ, there's so much shit. There's so much shit. Okay. That's Drake that filed that, or his team. And what is this? I think that, yeah, that might have been a fake ass document I was reading from. Okay. Drake has been trying to serve this guy named Kaplan. And they believe Kaplan and Kojo are the people who did all the stuff to get Not Like Us kind of take. Yeah, I think that was a fake document. Wow. I actually feel, and that's the thing. You try to be a little bit like fair, and you realize people are just really bad actors. Jesus Christ. I think it was fake, chat. I ain't gonna lie to you. Wow. Yo, people are bad shit. If this is fake, and it kind of does look fake, because it, like, usually you would see a docket number at the top. I don't see a docket number. Let me see if I'm gonna try to see if I can find it. Contracts. Wait. Actually, it's not fake. Grant, it's not fake. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna put the whole thing up on the screen. You see, this is why I like pulling my own documents. Drake. All right. And we're gonna go through the entire thing. As much as y'all know, and y'all gonna be like, yo, Ak, you're a huge Drake fan. Yeah, but when it comes to breaking down like court documents, you just got to be on the side of the truth, bro. Like, you could interpret it one way or the other, maybe because you're giving somebody a benefit of the doubt, but it is what it is. Yeah, the latest document I just opened up, I copy find or I control find, and I did find those words. So, and I'm pulling this from the U.S. government site right now. So this ain't some shit I seen on Twitter. This is, I'm gonna put a whole document up right now. Here we go. All right, it's gonna take a few seconds to come through. It's a huge file. Yeah, it's taking a while to come through. Wow. Damn, how long it take for an email to come through? Okay, got it. Bingo. Okay. So we got it here. I'm about to put it up on the screen. Okay. So we got a docket number. By the way, when you don't see the blue shit, like this is federal court. Every federal court document is going to have the case number, have a document number, when it's filed, how many pages. Now, this is more than one of three because there's a bunch of documents all together. So this was a declaration of this is Drake's lawyers, which is asking for a motion of leave to serve by a third party. So what's happening is that there's two individuals, one named Kojo, one named this Kaplan guy. They're ducking being served, right? Drake thinks that they're the botters, okay? They're ducking service. Drake said he spent $100,000 trying to serve Kojo. At a point when you've exhausted every means to serve someone, the court could allow you to serve them by posting publicly, maybe the newspaper or like run it on a news channel, or subsequently by certified mail. Or even I've seen them say, as long as you go to the person's house and you tape it to their door, and do certified mail, we're going to consider them served, okay? And the point is, you know, a judge ain't going to sit around and let somebody duck service this whole time. Drake said he spent $100,000 trying to serve Kojo and the nigga been ducking, all right? Okay, so here's Exhibit 1. This is the plaintiff. Plaintiff is Drake. This is the amended initial disclosures, okay? All right, this is kind of bullshit. We don't care about that. Okay, so this disclosure is about all the people they're interested in. Here are these guys, Kojo, Okay, good. All right, bet. All right, cool. These are all the people. I told you they're now interested in some Rock Nation people because they feel those people were involved in licensing the song to be performed at Super Bowl. Yeah, cool. So Rock Nation's added. Interscope, a lot of Interscope. Dave Freeze up in here, Lucian Grange, John Janik. But they have even people from Drake's label, Monty Lipman, and also even Avery Lipman, which they're brothers, by the way. Yeah, and I think there's some Spotify people that get added. Pretty much everybody is in there. Apple, whatever. Okay, so these are what they call interested parties, right? And they're saying these are people that might have info that's going to lead to Drake getting the info to be able to follow through with his case. Okay. So we could keep going. Let's keep going. Yeah, chat. I'm going to stop relying on Twitter. I'm going to just do what I got to do here. Okay. Okay. So now this is the defendant's. So this is defendant UMG's initial disclosures. Okay. Wait. Okay. Now this is what and Grant. So it's not fake, Grant. The thing we were just reading, I guess, is from here. Is B. So this is UMG, right? So UMG they were doing their disclosures, right? Let me just scroll down a little bit and make sure. Yeah. Yeah. These are the people representing UMG. So they submitted their disclosures and they said, here, the person's likely, it states that the following individuals likely have discoverable information that UMG may use to support its defenses. Okay? So they want to ask these guys for info as well. They want to ask Drake. They want to ask Kendrick. You know, they want to ask all these people. So for Universal, they're saying, really, we as a parent company ain't got nothing to do with this. Who would have shit to do with this are these people, and they named all the people, and they say Drake, Kendrick, and even Anthony Saleh. Okay, then they say if and as the discovery progresses or otherwise appropriate, UMG reserves the right to supplement, amend, or otherwise modify the identification of individuals and entities who discoverable information, including blah, blah. Okay, so they're basically saying they want to be able to get information as well. Then it says copy or description by category and location of documents. Blah, blah, blah. It said based upon the information now reasonably available to UMG, UMG states that it is in sole possession, or no, it's in possession and custody and control of the following categories of documents that it may use to support its defenses, unless it will be used for impeachment. So they have contracts between UMG and Drake. The documents concerning UMG's contractual relationship with Drake. The other recordings in the Drake rap feud and documents concerning the distribution. I guess they're talking about, okay, so other records other than Not Like Us, I'm guessing they're talking about. And then they know about the marketing and promotion. Okay, so, so they know about if there was any budget used, whatever. Petition entitled Art on Trial, Okay. Other recordings by Drake and documents, and they say news reports and documents concerning Drake's relationship with and behavior around minors. You see, that's odd. And that's why I think that UMG is fighting back, right? I think they put out in their declaration in a weird way that they're almost kind of teasing like we got some shit, but it's like it's very odd to me that a label would have information. Let's say it was whatever you want to think is true. Why the fuck would you be like, oh yeah, no, we got all the info here, huh? Anyway, just like, do I think they have all the info on Dave Free or Kendrick's kids? Fuck no, right? The criminal charges on Not Nice. So what I think they're gonna say is that they have some news reports that would substantiate criminal convictions against Baca, because I'm pretty sure you could just Google it and you'll find a news report about it. I don't think they have like some fucking hidden video. That's why I think the insinuation is like they have the proof that Drake did something. They start out by saying news reports and documents, right? They're not saying we have proof of this. They're saying that we have gathered news reports, right? And 3, the rap feud, but not limited to this. And then the affirmation of this person. Okay. Appended as and exhibits NX. So let's go down to NX. We're going to go down to exhibit NX. So they're saying these records will be available at this law office. And yeah, they'll be transferring the data in a reasonable way. So let's go find that thing. NX. Let's see. Yeah, we got to keep scrolling. Yeah, this is a lot of legal work here, man. Ooh. Drake got a private investigator. What? Oh, he got a private investigator to look for the addresses of the Kaplan guy. What? Oh, shit. Drake got these niggas ducking. Okay. They emailed the nigga. That shit ain't work. All right. Let's keep it going. The Shoreline? What is this? Damn, they got this nigga court eviction up on this bitch. What the fuck? They got his lease? Oh my God. Yo. Oh, he was paying $3,660 for rent. Yo, this is some diabolical shit, man. Oh man, this is fucking crazy. All right, a bunch of shit. That's all this lease information, Exhibit B. Okay, this is some other shit. Damn, they want this Kaplan nigga bad. Who's Kaplan? I gotta find his social media. Maybe I know him or something. Damn. Okay. I'm still trying to find some shit, but I can't find. I can't find. Oh, I can't find that exhibit that they were talking about. Let me look for it over here. Sorry, chat. I'm looking for. This is the exhibit with. They say they got some shit on Drake, right? All right, so that wouldn't be it. Okay, so I mean, listen. According to UMG, they're saying that they have news reports, right? And I don't know if we could Google and find news reports. Toronto News, Drake. Like, we've never seen a news report about Drake and minors, right? Like, so I'm pretty sure they're gonna take like maybe a blog post, maybe a post about maybe him messaging what's that girl named Millie Bobby Brown. Maybe those are the things that they're talking about, but it doesn't seem like they have like, oh, we got him, y'all, we got him. Like, it don't seem like that, right? Like, I can't even remember. Yeah, I can't even. Yeah, I've never seen a report that Drake been with kids and all like that. I've never seen that. Yeah, I've never seen some shit like that. What the fuck is this? Oh, yeah, everybody named Mama running this. Yeah, so I guess this thing is
UMG logins, bro. Applicable foreign privacy. Or 2 weeks ago, his representative celebrated a win.
Okay. Yeah, so if you ask me, this is so like vague. Of course, Kendrick fans, because they're extreme, they're gonna be like, yo, they got the proof that Drake is fucking kids. And of course, Drake fans are gonna be like, nah, that's just fake. That's just AI. You know what I mean? Like, but they're claiming that they do have some bullshit, but we don't know what it is. Right? We don't know what it is. If you ask me, I'd probably think it's just they would probably say, hey, listen, if Kendrick claimed that Drake likes kids, he didn't make this up. He probably legit believed it because there were rumors floating around. Or maybe he saw the Millie Bobby Brown thing or the 17-year-old on stage thing. I think that's what they're kind of getting at. But of course, fans are jumping out the window. That's what I'm saying, yo. I definitely don't see this get to trial, but still. Fans are jumping out the window like, oh my God, they have like some hidden video, some hidden documents that Drake fucks kids. And of course, that's going to go into the conspiracy theory of like the label has like these predator pedophile files, Epstein files of Drake that they're forcing him to stay in a contract. And if that was true, why would Drake file a lawsuit? You get what I'm saying? Like, why? You know what I mean? Like, you would want that to be hidden, not to be profoundly mentioned in a lawsuit that your label has this on you. So I'm going to assume, and shit, you know, that's my guy, so maybe I'm just giving the benefit of that. But I think it's not even giving the benefit of that. I think it's just obvious. I think they're saying that the discoverable evidence that they have is news reports that have insinuated, stated, or alleged certain things about Drake before Kendrick said it. And it's not some, oh, they have a girl that said this that never came out and the label has a video. No, I don't think so, bro. I don't think so. Okay. Bro, this thing is exhausting, man. And the Drake fans, Drake fans mad at me. Kendrick fans. Let me pull up the chat here. Let me see what are y'all saying about this. Somebody says probably scare tactics. Yeah, I think they're going on the offense, right? Drake is kind of hitting on a conspiracy theory, like, Lucian, you were at the crib plotting with Kendrick to call me a pedophile, to lower my renegotiation leverage, and then you did this and da 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 da. That's kind of what Drake is saying, and I think UMG, they're about to enter the territory saying, yo, Drake, you know we could play dirty too, right? You know we could almost make vague theoretical statements that every blog, because they do know every blog is picking this up, and this thing is a huge thing that's being discussed daily on social media. We're going to now go on offense and be like, nigga, why the fuck you over here mad at us? We ain't the one who started this shit about you and kids. Nigga, this shit been going on. They're almost going on offense. I think the next thing they're going to go on offense with Drake about is, yo, watch. Oh, we've investigated your numbers at times. Because UMG's not going to claim that he did nothing, right? And even if something was done, it was always going to be through a third party. So it's never going to be, their hands are always going to be clean. Trust. I think at some point they're going to look at Drake like, hey, shit, we investigated your shit too, because we thought you was faking. I think that's how they're going to try to get at Drake, to be like, yo, whatever you're trying to accuse, you look crazy too. Somebody said, watch What's the Dirt? All right, let me watch What's the Dirt. Let's see. What's the dirt? Sometimes I can't tell if I'm giving this too much shit.
All right, guys. So,
or like too much attention, and I'm dragging it, or this is what the conversation is right now.
This Drake UMG lawsuit is starting to take shape, and the whole thing is looking to be...
Oh, by the way, thank you for the 50D. He says, nobody give a fuck about what a few black folk in Cali think about Drake. I might be the only black person who likes him. Won't hinder his successes, at least. I hate the culture. Hopefully battle rap dies with this lawsuit. They mad they can't make a hit without sneak dissing. Okay. Thank you, bro.
Pretty damn fishy. Recently, we got some new updates with respect to the discovery phase, and while I'm not covering most of that in this video, I wanted to point out some really important things. First, what you guys need to know is that UMG as a business has been going through a significant transformation since the beginning of 2024. There have been a lot of layoffs, a lot of big promotions, employees have been quitting, and massive changes have been going on.
They're restructuring a lot. Like, these are not small changes.
Historically, the way things worked at UMG was you had Lucian Grange running the show at the top. Then on the East Coast, we had Republic Records, Def Jam, and Island Records, all of which had a bunch of smaller labels underneath them, but ultimately Republic was the big player, and that was ran by Monty and Avery Lippman.
Then we got the West Coast labels.
On the West, we had IGA, which is Interscope, Geffen, and A&M, and then we had Capitol Music Group, which all had smaller labels underneath them, but ultimately Interscope was the big player, ran by John Janik.
And even though they fall under UMG, like the East Coast and the West Coast are in competition.
When it came down to which coast was more profitable, John Janik and Monty Lippman went up against each other for years to try and earn that #1 spot.
In the corporate world, they're both climbers, right? So the goal at the end of the day is to take Lucian's seat.
With that said, Republic has always dominated, and a major reason for that is because they have Drake and Taylor Swift. In fact, every year besides 2020, John Janik of Interscope has lost to Monty Lippman of Republic. This is a huge deal when it comes to which guy ultimately takes over the reins when Lucian leaves. The board of directors look at a lot of different things, but performance metrics and profitability are at the top.
Based on performance metrics, Monty Lippman is clearly the man for the job.
And Lucian Grange said himself that he loves the internal competition that happens within the company because it ultimately makes people work even harder. The competition within our own company in signing and developing artists is no accident, it's by design. At the same time, our culture never lets our in-house competition become destructive. Our executives never forget that we're all part of the same UMG team.
So the culture at UMG of the East battling against the West, Monty against Janik, like that's by design and that's something they're proud of.
However, Lucien was about to drop a bomb, and that happened on February 2nd, 2024, when he announced that both John Janik and Monty Lippman were getting massive promotions and that a big restructure was coming.
Then it was just a month later where we learned exactly what these big changes were.
On March 12, 2024, Lucien Grange handed full control of UMG's labels to two people, John Janik on the West Coast and Monty Lippman on the East Coast. Now on the West Coast, all the major labels, Interscope, Geffen, A&M, and Capitol, were merged into a single company called ICLG, with John Janik running the show. On the East Coast, the exact same thing happened. Def Jam, Island, and Republic were grouped together under one umbrella called Republic Corps, led by Monty Lippman.
So now it's even more competitive because both Monty and Janik, now they've got more responsibility and more power. So like now is really time to prove yourself.
And at this point, heads started to roll where massive layoffs came into effect. UMG had previously announced that because of this restructuring, they could save $270 million a year. These big changes also ruffled the feathers of some very heavy hitters. Michelle Jublier, who was the CEO of Capitol Music Group, didn't seem to like the idea of John Janik being her new boss, and she resigned the moment his promotion was announced. Then Arjan Prugel, who was the vice president of Capitol Records, also quit. Sydney McCabe, CEO of UMG in Nashville, also announced that she will be quitting, and that came just 5 days after the Monty and Janik promotion. Then we saw high-end executives who held various positions across the labels get laid off.
I'm not going to name all the people, but like these are high executive positions. Like these aren't just anybody. These guys got hefty salaries. Like big cuts are being made.
Anyways, on March 12th, all these changes take place. Janik and Lippman are now the kings of their respective coast, and what do you know, 10 days later, Kendrick fires his shot on the Like That record.
Motherfuck the big three, nigga, it's just big me.
When it comes to Kendrick Lamar, he is one of John Janik's biggest stars on Interscope, dating back as far as Good Kid, Mad City. In fact, all of Kendrick's albums were released under Janik, and he was heavily involved in Kendrick's career. In the case of Drake, he was on the other side with Republic. Not only was he one of the main reasons for over a decade and why Janik struggled to clinch the #1 spot, but Drake's contract was coming to an end and the writing was on the wall that he might be leaving. For that reason, tensions were likely already pretty high between Monty Lippman and Drake.
And these were the ingredients that came together that made for a perfect storm.
Kendrick closed out his deal with TDE and Aftermath Interscope 2 years prior, with Mr. Morale being his last project. It was from that point forward where Kendrick was considered 100% independent under his own label, PG Lang.
It really seems like the Like That verse from Kendrick, that was an independent release.
However, all that was about to change as Drake took the bait, dropping Push-Ups on April 13th and Tailor Made on April 19th, and for some unknown reason, Kendrick, the guy that can allegedly whip up a diss track in no time flat, was completely ghost.
And now we know why that was.
It turns out the savior of hip-hop and all things culture wasn't about to involve himself in a rap battle without a new shiny deal in place with his good old pal John Janik at Interscope Records.
You guys do remember John, right? You know, the guy that got like the big promotion. He's like trying to be #1 and shit. No? Kendrick knows him really good.
That's right. On April 27th, 2004, Kendrick put pen to paper and signed a deal with PG Lang and licensing through Interscope, and 3 days later, Euphoria dropped.
But don't tell no lie about me, and I won't tell truths about you.
So basically the reason why it took the reincarnated version of Tupac 17 days to respond was because he was in cahoots with John Janik and Interscope, discussing the best path forward so that they could both reap the benefits from the moment. Before the beef, Kendrick was cold as ice, and the newly promoted John Janik was willing to do whatever it takes to not just bring Drake down,
but to prove himself. But this is where it gets extremely interesting. Kendrick dropped 4 diss records in the beef against Drake. Euphoria, 616 in LA, Meet the Grams, and Not Like Us. After that, he dropped the GNX project, but this is the major difference. All 3 of the diss records that were added to DSPs were licensed directly from Kendrick Lamar to Interscope Records, but the GNX project was licensed from PG Lang to Interscope Records. Why are the 3 diss tracks different? That's probably why Drake's legal team is very eager to look into Kendrick Lamar's contract with Interscope, and that's probably why UMG has heavily redacted information from it. And this is the smoking gun, right? Because that tells me that in that contract that he signed, those 3 diss tracks, there has to be something about the battle in the contract because those 3 records had a different agreement. Remember in my breakdown of Drake's Iceman episode?
Yeah, I agree with him, but this happens all the time. I know Drake beefing with UMG. 100,000,000% there's an addendum for him dropping a collab album with Party Next Door. That's what happens. When you drop music outside of the original schedule of albums or music that you agreed on, you have to make sure. And again, I'm still not saying smoking gun. You know why? Let me just put this in perspective. Whoop-de-doo. An artist that is about to release a bunch of Lucy records realized, I want to get paid from him. Yes, Kendrick's a capitalist, despite whatever he tells you. I want to get paid from them. I'm going to go sign a deal for every record that I'm going to go sign. I'm going to drop in this battle. I mean, that's the music business. It's like, yeah, of course he's going to do a deal for all the records he drops.
So 2, where we focused heavily on the Pinocchio character. I brought up how in the Disney movie, a fox named Honest John leads Pinocchio into situations with massive promises, but it ultimately ends up being a trap.
Right to the top. Why, I can see your name in lights.
Now, I do think Once a Dirt has this analogy or like symbolism on point. I do think what Drake is alluding to with this Pinocchio character is a huge symbolic representation of what he believes happened and occurred.
Light 6 feet high.
And I said that Honest John the Fox is John Janik, and then Kendrick is Pinocchio. He's the puppet. And this is one of the main reasons why Drake's legal team are looking into how much John Janik could benefit when it comes to bonuses and compensation. When you look at the specific people who are listed in discovery for this lawsuit, it's very clear that Drake's legal team are heavy on seeking documentation from Interscope. That's where the magic seemed to happen, and with the subpoena of Kojo, they are going to find that bots were used because that was part of what he did in marketing. It's probably going to be pretty difficult for him to hide. On the Republic side, it really seems like Drake is saying that they could have stopped the defamatory material, but why would they do that if Drake's contract is ending or he's possibly leaving anyways? The battle acted as a win-win for both sides. However, that bag in Iceman episode 2 represents evidence that Drake seems to already have. In the middle of all that, we have Kendrick, who was really just a pawn or puppet in their game. What makes the whole thing all the more hypocritical is the fact that Kendrick went out of his way in the battle to separate himself from the industry.
And fuck the industry too. The industry can hate me, fuck them all. But the industry's cooked as I pick the carcass apart.
The more I've learned about this guy, like, he's nothing what he portrays to be, and that's what this lawsuit's gonna expose. Like, it's really gonna expose how fake he is. Drake doesn't care about offending the culture of hip-hop with this lawsuit because the lawsuit is going to expose that this whole thing was anything but hip-hop.
Signal conversations where I hope they got double encryption. I hate to see the empire crumble on judges' convictions.
Okay. Yeah, so
The next.
feel like anytime I give an opinion on this, when people don't hear what they want, they think that, oh, no, Ack is just, Ack just defend the labels or whatever. Yo, you'd be very surprised how much, like, yo, I'm going to be honest with you. Like, respectfully speaking, and I actually believe Lucian. And I'm not even trying to, like, make these guys look crazy. You know I know Lucian's son, Elliot. Bro, these niggas don't listen to hip-hop, man. If you think a bunch of old white dudes is listening around to hip-hop, my nigga, if you think Lucian is like, not like, bruv, I believe the nigga. He's never heard the song till it dropped. These guys don't really listen to music, bro. They're business people. They don't. I guarantee hip-hop don't even play in their house. I'm telling y'all the truth. I know Elliot used to call me because he'd be like, yo, Ack, is this hot? He's a British dude. You know they're from Britain, right? Like UK. These niggas is not like not like if you hear them talk, you ever heard these people talk? They're not like some niggas. They hire niggas to find out what's hot. Now, here's the thing. Of course, you're going to go at the boss, clearly. And I'm not saying they shouldn't get gone at. What I'm saying is that if there is going to be a conspiracy, I don't think it reaches that far. I really don't. I think it's the lower level dudes who have some, I don't even think it reaches to Monty Lippman. Right? I think it reaches to some powerful people in the label. But if you want to, like, I know fans are going to sit here and think like really they're bumping. I guarantee if you had a gun to Lucian Grange's head and tell him to name 3 songs off of Drake's last 2 albums, I promise you he can't name not 3. I guarantee he can't name 3. Bruv, it's the president of UMG conglomerate that owns 277 labels. Yes, Drake's a big part. But he's not listening. First of all, Drake don't go to the label and play his music. Kendrick don't do that either. They just turn their shit in, and that's what's going to happen. Then people work it. Now, the people working it put it to the highest priority. They try to do whatever tricks and whatever they got to whatever. But the idea that these motherfuckers know these records, hell no. I'm telling you. I guarantee Lucian Grange can't name 3 songs off of Drake's last 2 albums. For All the Dogs and some sexy songs. He can't name 3 songs, I guarantee. Bro, don't listen to music like that, man, nigga. Now, somebody said Lucian knows everything going on. No. Again, I'm not gonna shit on the idea that there might be a conspiracy. I'm gonna say the idea that Lucian, Monty, and I'm not protecting them. You can sue them all day. I don't give a fuck. Yo. Lucian's son Elliot used to bring me in the office, went to play 6ix9ine and Trippie records to kind of feed off of me to be like, this shit hot? Bro, they don't know what's popping. You think some old white dude, yo, like with all due respect to Lucian, and I met Lucian before. Bro, Lucian is old. Bro, if you think, put it like this, you think a 65-year-old British guy, I'm telling you, he sounds British. His son is, yo, so I'll give you a little bit more about Elliot. This is Elliot right here. Bro, Elliot came from the UK like maybe 2 years or a year before he signed 6ix9ine. He was trying to build a little independent label. Bro, you think he know about Brooklyn drill rap? Fuck no. Hell no. If you think like he's not as tapped in as that, he knows business. It's not tapped in like that. These guys hire the people who they think are cool to do whatever. So what does that mean? And what am I saying? they're not the people that gonna be sitting with you and you playing a diss song like, nah, this is one I call him a certified PDF. It gonna fuck the whole game up, and Lucian is bumping it like, oh shit, yeah. No. So when he says he only heard it when it came out, I agree. That I definitely agree. These niggas don't really listen to music like that. You get what I'm saying? And that's where I say the conspiracy goes, it falls below a bit, right? So who would be in the know when it comes to that? It might be somebody at Interscope. It might be somebody at Republic. But it's not up to those levels. Now, granted, I understand why you sue. Like, I'm not gonna sue the regional supervisor of McDonald's. I'm gonna sue the CEO of McDonald's. You get what I'm saying? But I'm telling you that the whatever conspiracy, if it exists, don't exist that high, because these niggas, they probably did have some meetings about Not Like Us after the song got big. But were they involved with the plotting and this the one? Fuck no. Hell no. Hell no. Yo, these guys are out of touch. Like, no disrespect to them. And I rock with them. When I met Elliot had some Secret Service type of nigga that was his bodyguard. And I was like, what the fuck? Yes, the executives have Secret Service bodyguard in case rappers want to act the fuck up. Some Navy SEAL dude, the dude just standing there the whole time. Like, yo, that's how it works. But does he know, I'm not disrespecting him, hopefully. Like, does he know music? Whatever 6ix9ine or he signed Ice Spice too, right? Like, whatever Ice Spice would turn in, that's what it is. Whatever Trippie turn in, that's what it is. He hires young dudes though. He hires cultural people. Those are the people who, Anyway. No matter what I say, some people are gonna be like, nah, you. So again, I'm not saying that they can't be a conspiracy. If you think a 65-year-old nigga is listening to Not Like Us and plotting with Kendrick, fuck no. Okay, and honestly, the way how shit goes, I'm pretty sure that even John Janik didn't probably realize that it was going to get that big either. Now, did they make moves after it started getting traction? Probably, yeah. But, I'm a little bit skeptical of the conspiracy theory before that. Okay. I think we're going to get What's the Dirt on here. Let me see. Where you at? Yo, Grant, call with What's the Dirt, please. Is he on? Okay. Somebody said they think that the contract renegotiations take 2 weeks to complete. Nigga, whatever deal he signed for this was definitely the deal for the battle. That's a fact. Hey, I'm gonna drop a collection of songs that are gonna be monetized and licensed in this way. Grant, I see you call. Okay. Here we go. Yo, why Grant start this call and title it UMG? Yo, what's good? Wait, I can't hear you. Am I tripping?
You can't hear me?
Oh, now I can.
Yeah, you can hear me. What's good, man?
I'm chilling. Hold on, let me. I'm gonna put both of us on here. All right, here we go.
Streaming late. You're streaming late these days, eh?
Shit. I got to get back on a better schedule, man, because like last night I was on till like 4. I'm trying, like,
I know.
I'm trying to be respectful of people's time too. So, like, you know, I'm trying to fix my schedule without missing a day, because sometimes that's what happens, you know. Let's see. Bingo.
Yeah. I get it, man. I'm just trying to get in.
Yeah. Anyway, yo, then I was watching a video. Listen, and by the way, here's the thing too. I do want to tell people, What's the Dirt is my guy. We're not also going to agree on everything. And this is where, you know, we could have like, you know, some critical, like, you know, okay, I agree with that, but this one I'm not too sure about. And I think this is how you just be a fair content creator. Now, obviously, you're going to have some bad actors out there who, like, they're just diametrically opposed to everything, or they're just going to be like, this guy's a liar, he's whatever. So, first question is, how have you been doing? I've seen that the K-Bots have taken aim at you. They have turned you into, they probably think you're now a Drake puppet. I seen them start doing a whole thing with the Happy Dad thing. They're like, yo, by the way, my Happy Dad shit right here. You know what they said? They said Drake founded Happy Dad. They said Drake founded Happy Dad to pay us. What do you say?
It's crazy what they spin, bro. I just made the whole connection. It's like, bro, all it takes is a Google search, bro. One little Google search, and you could see that Drake is not affiliated with Happy Dad. He doesn't have stake in it. He doesn't have ownership in it. It's just because he took a picture with Kyle with like a Happy Dad jersey, and they
they're both.
But yeah, they're on my ass, bro. They're definitely on my ass. But I've been going through that for a year now, bro. That's what it's been, right? That's the way it's been. So anyone who's even a little,
like the moment things, because so when I first found out about you, you're doing these like really dope breakdowns, which by the way, I think one of the W's that came out of this rap battle was having people really look beyond just surface level shit and connect dots. And we get to find out, and no pun intended, like people like Kendrick was always leaving a trail of breadcrumbs, but even Drake, they were always alluding to things that, again, it would miss you on first listen. And then if you really connected, you're like, oh, this guy has been touching on this issue for a long time. You did a great job doing that. You know, I think, you know, maybe other people did it, but you obviously were the leader among that. But you were doing it for both artists. At a point, it felt like people were like, yo, this nigga's biased to shit now. Like, you know, like they just started attacking you. What happened and when it happened?
A lot of shit happened in between that point and this point, right? It got to the point where if I was covering Kendrick, like basically they twisted a lot of shit that I would say, and they started calling me racist, and they started calling me a vulture. And like, at a certain point, like it was very clear that the Kendrick fans absolutely hated me. I've always been a Drake fan. I'm from Canada. I'm riding out for Drake anyway.
Hey, I remember one breakdown you did, and I think it was the Kendrick thing, and they were like, yo, this is like our guy, like he's showing how smart Kendrick is. Now here's the thing, you had to do a breakdown for Drake, and as soon as you're like, nah, Drake shit is deep in layer 2, they were like, what? Yo, get this fucking fraud out of here.
Yeah. That's exactly what happened, bro. And they twisted a lot of my shit too, right? Yeah. And no, you're right. They completely flipped when it came to that point. And then I had 2 records left to do because at Family Matters, I stopped. I was like, okay, I got all that backlash. I was like, you know what? I'm done breaking any. I'm not even going to do Kendrick shit. In hindsight, I feel like I should have did it. I feel like if I could go back in time, I would have did it. No, I think that was a mistake.
Well, wait, first of all, I think you had gotten backlash because I think you had said something about, like, I forgot what it was. These little bitch ass niggas, like, you know, first of all, you had a lot of people jealous of you. That's the thing. I seen a lot of YouTubers who they've been moving around. I call them the 10,000 club. Like they drop 4,000 videos and each of them get like 12,000 views, and you know what I mean? And they're always like, why am I not the guy getting hundreds of thousands? And they see you and your views are going through the roof, and all of a sudden they take that to be like, yo, let me just start hating on this guy. So I think there's a lot of hate. But I forgot what you had said. It was something about like,
well, there's 2 factors to it, right? So it was me breaking down the Kendrick record, speaking in the favor of Drake, like you said, giving more depth to some of his shit. People didn't like that right off rip. They didn't like me saying bad things about Kendrick. But then me and Justin Hunt had our thing back and forth, right?
Yeah.
And I said some things there, and that's really where it blew the fuck up, right? That's really where it blew up.
I think you say he was talking like a nerd, like Carlton or whatever, or some shit, and then they were mad at you saying you're racist. And then Anthony Fantano came out, and he's just saying the hard ER, and they're like, "I ain't racist. That shit normal."
I don't know, bro.
Yo, he's kicking it with the guys that are like, yo, that's making fun of Trey, but whatever, All right, let's kind of, jump up to speed a little bit. The lawsuit. It's the talk of the town. I want to know your personal thoughts about it, and I've seen you really starting to even trying to connect the dots on that. Where are you with everything?
So the first video I ever did about the lawsuit is the one you just watched.
Oh,
I've
really?
never done a video on it before
Okay.
because first off, I always found it pretty boring.
Yeah,
And in the beginning, I was very much against, because you know how people, I think people are just hating on Drake and it's just Drake hate about the lawsuit, but I feel like it's a lot bigger than that because it really is anti-hip hop, if we're being real. Like, I know he's suing UMG, but without the diss record, the lawsuit wouldn't exist. The lawsuit is about the lyrics at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
And everything around it. So when people are getting up in arms about it, I mean, I can't blame them for feeling that way. On the other side of things, I feel like Drake just really wants to clear his name, bro, because Drake content is in my algorithm. So anytime I go on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, wherever, every day I'm seeing thousands of comments calling Drake a pedophile. And thousands every day. This has been going on for over a year. So
Yeah.
I try to put myself in his shoes, bro. I want to fucking clear my name, man. I really will when it comes to that, whether he sued Kendrick, UMG, whatever. So when I think about if what Drake is saying is actually true, if they really did conspire against him, if they really did cook this, if they really tried to bring him down, if they did this all on purpose, I feel like that all deserves to be exposed. And I think a lot of people would support Drake bringing down the industry had it not been tied to a battle. And I think that's what people are struggling with. But I see both sides. I'm somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Game is game. Thank you for the 20. Let me see what you said. Yeah, I don't like the lawsuit at all, man. I think he should just sue Kendrick. And I don't mind him suing the labels, because some people feel like I'm like super pro labels. Like, I've always talked shit about labels. And then I would talk shit about them and said, they can't go around me, so they need me. So it's not like I'm over here needing to protect them. I don't give two fucks. You know what I mean? But for me, kind of looking at it, it does get super boring when you're like, okay, sue the labels, but we all know who said the shit. The dude lied on you. You're clearly not a pedophile. The guy popularized this idea. Sue him. And I would think very differently about the lawsuit if Kendrick was sued directly. It's already anti-hip-hop.
Yeah, I don't think there's any dispute for that. I don't think there's any dispute for saying that it's hip-hop was built on free expression, bro. So I do think it's a slippery slope when you introduce lyrics and you're basically saying that those lyrics cause punishable harm of some sort, right? To me, that's one side of it. On the other side of things, if this thing goes through, which I know you said you don't think it will, I don't think it will either. But if it did go the test of time, and we're talking about payola and the inner workings of the industry and all this stuff, if all that stuff came out, there probably will be some good that could come from that part.
No.
Right?
No.
No? You know more than me.
Well, the reason why I say no is that, listen, I keep telling people the music business is a place, right? And again, I know when I'm speaking, some people think I'm really speaking like I'm some UMG show. Like, no, I'm telling you how the music business is built. The idea of a business being constructed around music is the idea that, first of all, to have a hit song is catching lightning in a bottle. It's rolling the die, right? It's a very low percentage on every time you put out a record. To build a business that's built on chance, right, is always going to be incredibly risky, and this is why you see it with the contracts. The reason why artists are in trash contracts is because this is a business built on risk. It's not a profit first, or as soon as we're with you, we're in the. A lot of times, if you look at a profit loss sheet for a label, they're in the red for the majority of artists and only in the black for a couple. And the ones that they are in the black for, that's the ones that are paying for the others. So here's the thing. The music industry, no matter what Drake does, and this idea, like, first of all, I'm a streamer, so of course I want to talk about everything. So I don't mind the lawsuit from that perspective. But the idea that one man could kill the recording business is absolutely ludicrous. This is a multi-billion-dollar business that is built on collusion. And I will say that and say that again. It's a reason why UMG owns part of Spotify. It's a reason why they have all these relationships. It's a reason why they make sure that they own that 85% of the generated revenue that comes from catalog, UMG owns, and they only license. They do not sell. They don't even want to sell it. They wouldn't sell Kanye West his own catalog. You know why? Because after they cracked the music game by being able to steal it with MP3 files, this and third, the leverage that the music industry owns is the fact that they own the catalog. They could make Spotify bend to their whim. They could make Apple bend to their whim. And that's their way of, we're going to use our leverage to straighten out the game. Okay? Now, with all that being said, again, even if, all right, let's say there's payola, right? Let's kind of go down. First of all, payola is something that's only going to be punishable due to the government stepping in. They have money and insurance just to pay that shit off. You get what I'm saying? So no matter, even if we found out that they did a bunch of payola for Kendrick, you're not ending the music industry. Even if they did it for Kendrick, I think UMG would get petty at that point. They'd be like, no, we did it for Drake too. If they're going to admit it, they'll just come out with a disclosure and say we did it for both. It doesn't matter. That doesn't end the music. There's nothing that ends the music industry. It's like Live Nation. I'm pretty sure some people thought, well, look at what happened to the Travis Scott thing. Live Nation and festivals are done. You think so? I thought Live Nation would never work with Travis Scott again. Yeah, right. Did you watch that fucking documentary? They're making too much money. They're printing money. They control an entire ecosystem that they own the venues. This is a almost like monopolistic way of an entire sphere of business. When it comes to music and it's going to be a part of entertainment, you can't get around labels. And until, like, the idea that Drake could take down the labels sounds only legit to an idiot when you realize that UMG owns 80% of Drake's catalog and 80% of Kendrick's catalog, and they'll never give it back, ever. So how the hell are you going to take down the shit that we built when we own you? You're taking yourself down. So the point that people think that they could take the labels down, listen, Michael Jackson couldn't do it. Nobody could do it. Drake can't do it. I think Taylor sometimes have them on their toes, but even Taylor can't do it. This is a multi-billion-dollar business, and yeah.
Yeah, I think I just saw what you were talking about with Lucien too, right? And I kind of agree with you. I don't think he actually knows. I don't think he really is that privy to all this shit that was going on, if it was going on, right? I really think with him, all they're trying to find is just on the defamation side of it. They're just looking for any piece of info, an email, a text message, anything that proves that he knew about Not Like Us before it was published. And I think that's all they're trying to get him for. Because I don't think
you got to twist his hand to get everybody else. If you really want to know the people who, first of all, UMG is pointing their fingers at their own employees, right? If you go to the disclosure that they filed, and they named their own employees. And by the way, they had told Drake before when he did the petition, they said, bro, we're not protecting nobody. Sue Kendrick. Sue that motherfucker. You know what I mean? So again, UMG and the board of directors, their only goal is to protect themselves, right? This is a publicly traded company that is ran by a board of directors, and they're down to point and throw people in their own company under the bus if there's any foul play. They're setting it up now. Lucian is saying, the UMG head is saying is basically, yo, if there was info that could either help absolve us or help prove your point, these are the niggas that would know. What does that mean? These are the suspects if we were trying to investigate.
Exactly.
Crime. So
exactly, he's just going to wipe his hands of it and say, look, like if this did play out, I think that's what it would be. It'd just be like, this is just a couple executives that went rogue. Like, you know, like these guys did this shit, right?
No, of course.
And that's what it would be.
Yeah, of course. So the only thing I push back on is I do believe, like, you know, I think any good conspiracy theory always gets a lot of people to bite in because now you have something to work off. There is a great conspiracy theory with this. I just don't think it reaches up to where, like we're saying with Lucian. Now, if it was something where they're trying to do something to Spotify, like on a company to company level, oh yeah, Lucian's in that. Oh, of course. But a rap battle, bro, I've been around, yo, these like people don't realize that these executives we're talking about, they're pushing 40 and 50. They listen to jazz at home. Okay? They have 2.5 kids and a picket fence and one dog. They're not going home listening to King Von. You think they're in their crib like, we gonna be all right? Fuck no. You know who's actually bumping that? It's gonna be the people at Interscope. It's gonna be the people that's in the urban division at Republic. You get what I'm saying? And I think that's where we're going to find if anybody did something shady. And also, like, I've said this publicly before. The reason why also UMG is going to stand on whatever they're going to stand on, any bullshit that was done, Labels has been this for years. They contract third-party companies. So I guarantee you won't find Universal signing a check saying, here is the money for the buy-in. No.
That's the thing, bro. Like, I think if they're looking for Kojo or Josh Kaplan, like, I think they believe that those guys source the bots or the botting guys. Like, that's where they're trying to get it from, right? So that's what that part is. Yeah, the shit's crazy, bro. I feel like my theory is, I think Drake's contract was ending or coming to an end with Republic.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like they were too incentivized to keep him all that happy, like bring his stock down a bit. And then on the other side, you had John Janik, who has been really trying to beat these guys for years. And Kendrick's one of his artists, always been one of his artists. And I think he just said, fuck it, we're going at this thing full force. We're really going to put a dent in Drake this time.
Now, here's the thing. The counterpoint to everything, and that's what I'm saying, like, this is why I hate the era we're in when it comes to discussing this. Because if we're going to have legitimate, intelligent discussions, we can't do it from a place of stand-up. I don't give two fucks about Kendrick, but I do care about music. So oftentimes when I'm arguing, I might make a point that might be on his side, but it's not because of that. It's that I can't lead these type of discussions with the fact that I'm a Drake fan. For example, right? If we're talking about, you know, the entire battle and where Drake's contract was and what the hell was going to happen, he has a reasonable conversation or a reasonable discussion to have, like, hey, listen, I feel like you guys did some stuff to, like, devalue me. But then there is the other side as well, right? Which is, hey, we are just music publishers. And this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know why fans are so heavily invested in this, because it's not going to tell us anything. Like, this is like waiting for the Epstein files. And after it, we're like, where's the list? Where's the list, y'all?
You don't think, like, if they found bots, you don't think that would ever be publicly brought out that they found them? Like, do you think that information would actually get out into the public?
It won't be connected to UMG.
No, that's true. Like you said, it'd be a third party, right? They would just say third party. We had no idea.
Now, let me tell you what's going to happen. UMG is going to also say we've also did our own internal review. We worked with Spotify. We conducted our own internal review and audits of our artist streams and songs that did well or whatever. And we were active in trying to fight against bots. Makes no sense that we would be paying for bots. But here's the thing. That's why I keep saying it's the music industry. The record labels they're the same ones that used to purchase records. Back in the day when the majority of sales came from this idea of not UPC scan, but it was records shipped, they would ship 1 million records that you could certify as something platinum. Then they would buy half of them because now Best Buy or whatever is saying, yo, you gave us all these fucking records, nobody buying them. So they would do a huge buyback of some of these records, right? And then, they would do sometimes the return game where they would stagger it over time because those things used to get minused off via SoundScan. So the record labels are always going to finesse. It is part of programming the mind. It is part of programming the mind. I'm just saying, as long as there's a business of music, you will never erase that. They will do it at some way, somehow. It didn't start with Drake. It won't end with Drake, okay? And if Drake wants to, the only thing I look at some of his fans like being like, oh my God, he's exposing something. Tell me that water is wet when you're saying that the labels will do some shiesty shit. I work with labels. All they do is shiesty shit. Okay? Yeah. So if that's the thing you were waiting to hear, well, you know it now. Like, so what else are we going to hear? For me, I think Drake wants his damn money. Get that man his money. I think UMG is going to pay to save some embarrassment and save some restructuring. Again, you can't destroy them, but you might change how the way they move. Remember, they started to move a little bit different. Yo, Pusha, chill out with that, because this nigga Drake about to file it on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they'll come to, and I don't think Drake is really on some fuck the labels, I'm going independent. That's nothing I don't think his audience is kind of like analyzing. Which part of this says Drake is about to just go independent and say, fuck it, I don't want to deal with the labels no more?
Yeah, it's just a theory, left. Right?
He has one
just
album
like the way I,
and he dropped another album with UMG. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because here's this, when people say Drake is going against the industry. And again, Drake's my guy, but we just got to call space space. He tried it. He tried teasing it. You see all them 100 gig songs, Universal was just hours. Yeah, you can't do nothing. Contractually, they got you. And there is no going against, like, Drake could file an emergency. You see, if Drake wanted to really go against the industry like some of his fans think, you file what Meg Thee Stallion did against 1501. You want an emergency injunction that UMG, because you have this theory that they were fucking with you, or they've been trying to suppress your career or do whatever, that they could no longer administrate your album until this case is resolved. Now you're technically a free agent. You could do what you want. But no, Iceman is going to say UMG, brother. And I'm telling you, Drake is he's going to be in the major label system. I can't see another world.
So you don't think there's a possibility of him going with a different major and like dipping from UMG?
Yeah. That's a possibility. The only thing is that what people always have to remember, and okay, so this was the other part, and what was even discussed, and I talked to a bunch of people, high-level people at UMG, they were saying, hey, listen, Drake bugging out a bit. The reason why we're going to say he's bugging out is that, hey, Drake's catalog generates Republic so much revenue a year. We need Drake to be in good standing. We need Drake to keep putting out music. And we would never collude, or we would never be like, do anything to hurt him when his revenue is one of the main drivers of our label. So it's like the idea that, okay, maybe John, all right, let's just go down this rabbit hole. Let's say John Janik was like, yeah, let's get this motherfucker over there, right? Well, Monty Lippman is going to be like, nigga, no, you're not. Because if I'm not going to let you kill off my artist and boast in yours when we're in competition. So I'm going to put up some type of defense, and I think that's where that is at. But I can't see Drake going independent or like that, bro.
It'd be a lot more work for him. But I know he moved OVO Sound over to Sony, right?
Yeah, but Drake don't move like an independent artist. Kendrick's moving like an independent artist, and even then, he's not fully independent because he did this licensing deal. But PG Lang has in-house everything. They have the botters in-house. They have the digital guys in-house. They have the fake news spreaders in-house. They have the A&Rs in-house. They have the I'm serious. I'm not even lying to you. They have the content guys in-house. They've got some producers. Yeah, PG Lang, like, I think Kendrick did want to go independent. And I think what happened is, and this is what I was going to say about, when you say go to a different label. What ends up happening is it's kind of like the NBA. You know how the NBA, and I don't know if you're a sports guy, you could only get the Supermax from the team you were with. Well, here's the thing. Drake isn't at the beginning of his career. He's a seasoned artist. He's pushing 40, right? I mean, he's still in his prime, I would consider. But let's say Sony would say, yo, you know what? We'll give you $500,000. Now we got to think about recoupment. Recoupment on that, not $500 million. Recoupment on that $500 million when they own zero Drake product. When Universal gives Drake $500 million, they use the fact that they own a lot of his albums and they leverage it, that they could recoup faster. Hey, we own a bunch of these. Since we're giving you this money up front, that we could recoup off of your old stuff. Look, I went down the most streamed album this year. Take Care is one of them. Whatever deal that's why artists usually go back to their regular label. This is why do you think it's not really pronounced, because TDE don't really say shit about shit. Kendrick didn't drop music for 5 years. He was getting out of his contract. He did not want to twofold, be in a major label system and also not want to be at TDE. He wanted to build his own, right? After he develops his own thing, PG Lang, the nigga goes back and signs and license through
UMG
Interscope. Why?
Yeah.
Because his catalog already resides there. They're going to give him a more favorable deal. Why? They could leverage his back catalog, right? Because who do you think owns Good Kid, Mad City? It definitely ain't Kendrick Duckworth Lamar. It's owned by Universal. So they're going to give him a better deal than he could get anywhere else. So that's why you see people stay at their labels. So why would Sony go out to the tune of $500 million that's only going to just pretty much enrich Universal, who no longer has to market Drake, right? Because that's the thing. When they're marketing these artists now, they're knowing, oh, well, the 10-year anniversary of this is coming up and these albums are going to go up. You're just doing all the legwork for, and by the way, this is why the situation with Youngboy at Capitol, like, the majority of his album is over there Atlantic.
Yeah.
He might go back. You never know.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Like, because if Drake dropped an album under Sony, brand new album, the minute he does that, Take Care for UMG's going up. Nothing was like, and Kendrick, same thing, right? When he drops new music, all of his catalog goes into the charts, right? So that's a good point.
So the way how they leverage it is this, right? Like, so Drake has immense amount of leverage at this point, right? But what somebody like Drake would do is like, all right, give me the money up front, but I want, after this deal, I get a quarter of the masters, so 25% of the masters of, let's say, Take Care and Nothing Was the Same or something. So what they'll do is give us new product and you'll gain pieces of your old product back. You get what I'm saying? And it'll incentivize the artist to stay. And again, those type of deals that is so cross-collateralized and is so leveraged in multiple different ways. They're leveraging your back catalog to recoup. They're also banking on you possibly wanting more ownership, so they're promising you more in the future, but more that you could possibly get in the past, and they're not going to give you more than half, honestly. That's kind of how, I mean, shit, I know about YoungBoy's situation to a certain extent. He wanted them to do that. They wouldn't do it with him, though. And that was something kind of common, where it's like, hey, after a certain while, you'll be like, yo, give me 3 more albums, and then I'll give you a piece of the last 3 that you dropped before. But, again, us fans, we're looking to hear and find some shit about this battle that I don't know what would make us feel happy. Like, I've kind of said it. Do I think Kendrick botted? Yes. Think Kendrick was botting? Like, again, do I think Kendrick himself knew it was botted? No. I think Kendrick has an amazing team. I think his team knew from the get-go, we need Twitter bots, we need music bots, because we're battling the guy with the algorithm. Okay? And I think they successfully did that. Okay.
They did.
Even if we know that, what does it change? Or is it maybe some type of like, it's like what type of win you would call it? It's like, at least we knew it wasn't real. Like, okay.
Yeah. The only thing, bro, like, I don't think anything could really change the perception for like bots are not going to do it, because people know that bots are being used anyways. I think when it comes to the allegations and shit like that, like what Drake levied in his tracks, like Family Matters, if some of that shit was proven, I think that would be pretty devastating for Kendrick, or at least his reputation.
What do you mean?
I'm not sure how that would happen though through the lawsuit.
Give me an example. What do you mean?
Well, Drake said the allegations about Whitney and the allegations with the kid, and now we're seeing this in the lawsuit. So people are starting to think that it could come out that way, but I don't know how UMG would really have details about that.
Now, I do think that Drake is playing chicken with that. I think Drake is daring them to countersue. And here's the thing. I honestly do believe that something happened in that Vegas situation. I do. And I think that Drake, his nose has been so clean in terms of anything associated with pedophilia that he has no problem with people having inquiries about him. But if you countersue, now we get to legitimately ask and request your criminal record, or even anything to prove that was true. So I think that's why Kendrick has not done anything, even though I think maybe also Kendrick is taking a pro-hip-hop stance. But if Kendrick sued or countersued to say, you lied on me, well, even if Drake didn't have all the details at the point, it better not be true that you had a domestic situation. It better not be. Because now you're going to have to substantiate that, right? So you're going to have to say, well, based on these times or whatever, there was no police involvement, never happened, and here are all, we have to be open enough to give all this information. And I don't think Kendrick want to go down that route. No.
I don't think he could sue, because I believe people seem to believe that there's some truth to that Vegas thing, right? Based on what I've been hearing. So I don't think he would sue for it, because it seems to be possibly true, right?
Yeah, but also here's the thing too. And this is where I be looking at these fans. Man, y'all love mad rappers that beat they bitch, man. Like, this is where y'all little Kendrick Lamar fans is like, yeah, the soapbox shit, it just makes y'all look like hypocrites. But like, I don't want to like throw stray bullets at anybody and bring any other artists into it. But there's a bunch of artists we've either seen on camera or seen allegations of, and of course, there's nobody co-signing those things or standing with them. But over time, unless it's something that you just seen crystal clear on some Chris Brown shit, a lot of people got over it and a lot of people moved on. So I kind of look at it like that. It only makes the Kendrick fans look a little bit hypocritical, but I don't think that kills Kendrick's career, even if it was true. You get what I'm saying?
No, I think he would go through like a week of like shit, and then some people like the Drake fans would bring it up, but most people would probably, the casuals, like, that's what I try to remind people too, like the casual fan doesn't think like the way that a lot of these fans are thinking and acting, right? It's a whole different bag, bro.
Yeah, but that's where everything's getting like too crazy. It's like, check it out. Okay. Did everybody see, or like the idea of Drake texting Millie Bobby, whatever, be like, like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I never really thought, damn, that's kind of weird. Drake is like I always thought, I'm like, yo, damn, this like cookie cutter Drake being Drake, like trying to be friends with every new poppin' person, but none of that kind of came across as I'm trying to fuck you. You get what I'm saying? And what people can't distinguish is they take any little thing and you're now a full blown, you have an island fucking these chicks and they're 13. Like, that's how they're taking it, right? Like, you could look at that situation and be like, yeah, I probably wouldn't be texting with Shorty. You know what I mean? And be like, yo, Drake,
Exactly.
why are you? Like even if you say, cool, then you say, like, yo, Drake, why are you doing that dumb shit? Cool. But they just take it and be like, I told you he was fucking kids. And a lot of them. Like, you know what I mean?
A lot of them. He's not only that, he's trafficking them.
Yo, and that
not only that, yeah, it's like
that
crazy.
leap right there is like where hip hop turns dangerous. You got these fans literally turning rappers who, I'm gonna be honest with you, I think Drake and Kendrick are both two rappers. They probably have their faults here or there, but they're normal people. I don't think they're like societal rejects or some delinquents that are fucking kids or serial woman beater. I don't. Now, has Kendrick may have had a bad moment with his girl? Maybe. Okay. Did Drake probably make a mistake or whatever on stage? Yeah, but are these people like on the hunt to beat women and fuck kids? Like, come on. Like, this is what I don't like how the hip hop fans have turned it into. They have turned it into, well, he's Ike Turner, okay? And this nigga is literally Jeffrey Epstein.
Pretty much, bro. That's what it's gotten to. It's crazy to think that the battle... Did you think for 1 second when the battle happened a year and a half ago, did you think that we would be right where we're at right now, this far out, and it's still being like the most talked about thing? Did you think that would be true?
Is that what? Oh, man.
Did you... looking back, did you think when the battle first happened, did you think we'd be really talking about it to this extent? All these, like a full year and a half later, we're still here. We're still here.
Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how hip hop returns to some sort of regularity after this. I'm going to be honest with you. I've never seen Kendrick fans this active. And it's like they have a mission, and I've never seen Drake fans this active. They have a mission. And I don't know how this changes, man. But I am kind of sick of it. I'm kind of sick of it, even though it is new content, which I guess that's the hypocritical part where I'm like, all right, well, just give me a new headline to talk about on stream. But, yo, we are talking about the same shit.
This is the biggest headline, though. This is the biggest topic. People still want to talk about Kendrick and Drake. So as media, you're gonna cover it, right? Like for me, I haven't really done, like, I don't put out nearly as many videos, right? But I have to cover the Drake stuff right now. There's too much going on, right?
And I'm gonna be honest with you. Listen, if anybody have seen the majority of civil lawsuits, it is never as explosive as this. Every fucking day there's something. Every day there's
every
something.
Day.
Yo. The amount of money being dumped into this, like Drake said, like he spent $100,000 on trying to get Kojo. They're spending so much money kind of going at each other. I can't even tell if it's PR or like this is some real, I guess it's both, but it's like.
How annoying do you think this is for UMG right now? Because like Drake seems to be causing a bit of chaos with this. Like he's really, I mean, he's not, it has to be a little bit, this got to be very inconvenient for him.
For UMG?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
I would say.
No, I think that's exactly happening. But that's why I also say, like, how do they not say, we're going to take it out on this guy? Like, Drake is definitely fucking some shit up there. You know what I mean?
Do you think that this lawsuit has already had or could have already had ramifications on battles in the future and how executives look at battles?
You know,
when it comes to
any big battle, yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure we won't see a big battle like this for a while. And even when we do see one, they're going to take the approach of, we're not touching with a 10-foot pole. Meaning, before they monetize and put it on DSPs, they have a team that comes in and reviews all the facts or the allegations. Yo, so you said his mama is a what? You said his brother is a what? And they're going to then be like, hey, listen, we could put out a version of this song, but we're bleeping certain lines. We're erasing certain lines. And that's how we'll publish it. Otherwise, that shit could just be up on YouTube. And that's going to be an interesting way to deal with it, because record labels like to monetize everything. But they might learn from this and say, because Kendrick would have put the songs out regardless. Drake would have put the songs out regardless, right? We don't have Story of Added On, and we don't have Duppy Freestyle on DSPs, right? There was a cognizant effort made, I think, with the artists as well, to say, we're not going to monetize this, right? These songs just got so big, and the moment was so big, they knew these songs were going to be the biggest thing in the world. But if the label had not monetized this, UMG has zero fault, right? If they don't take the song and ingest it in their system, they have zero fault. You would have to sue Kendrick and I guess YouTube, because Kendrick just released it on YouTube at first, right? It took a good 12 hours or like maybe 24 hours for it to really get up on DSPs. So again, if they don't do that, Drake can't sue UMG. So
That's a good point.
I can see them in the future just being a little bit more careful with bigger songs. Now, granted, that's what I'm keep saying. Like, will a drill rapper, like, God rest the dead in terms of Julio Fulio, but like, say a guy does what Julio Fulio does and makes a song like When I See You, or like a Young and Ace type song like Who I Smoke, yeah, those songs will still get through. Because Lucian don't know what the fuck those songs are. He probably never heard those songs a day in his life. But big A-list artists, I could see them saying, hold on now. We're not going to let this go too crazy. Or we're just going to leave it over there.
Basically, yeah, it's not like they could stop people from doing diss tracks, but it's never going to be at this big high-level thing anymore, probably, where there's like these scathing things being thrown back and forth, and they're just going to let that fly.
Yeah.
And if the guys want, they can just throw it up on YouTube. That makes sense.
One thing I wanted Drake to kind of explain that lawsuit. Because
he needs to.
Because I want to hear his objective. Because we're fans and we all are making up our own objectives. Some people say, no, this is the one to take down the music industry. You said, hey, well, this is how he clears his name. There's other people that say he's going to show you that there was manipulation that happened. He's going to show you X, Y. Like, why did he file it, right? Because if he's trying to clear his name, I think that's one way you can clear your name, right? You defame me by calling me this. You're going to either show up with proof, right? Or you're going to admit that you did defame me, and once I show the damages, you owe me some money. And then the other thing is, okay, these labels have been pulling bullshit with artists for the longest. I want to shut that down or expose it and also get paid because they fucked me over. I really don't know which one it is. Or maybe it's a collection of all of them, but I'm trying to see the mindset behind of it.
Yeah, we have no idea at this point. We can only speculate. And there's like the reasons you gave, that's more the Drake friendly ones. Like, people say that he's suing because he lost the battle. That's basically what a lot of people say, right? And that he didn't know how to handle the L. We hear that a lot.
Yeah, which I think that's unfair that people are saying that about Drake, man. Like, even now, we're like I looked at one of his last caption, and like you could tell his caption still is kind of embodying the energy of responding to maybe what the battle did. And people are like, damn, he can't get over it. I'm like, you know what's so funny? Compared to a battle that he unanimously won, which is versus Meek, the dude went on to drop a whole album where he's like, yo, free smoke. Like, he still was in that energy, even in the win. So it's not like he was like, all right, I won the battle, I'm completely over it. He was on that type of time, like, all right, who else wants some? Like, what's popping? Like, what we doing? And that's always been a fuel and a motivator for him to kind of do what he does. And I think people have to realize, like, I don't think he's necessarily harping on the battle, but he's definitely bottling that energy, whether it's revenge. Okay, I got to spin back. All right, the dudes who turned on me, stay there. Fuck it.
I think he wants his lick back. I think he wants his get back. I think he wants revenge. But yo, Ak, I gotta hop off.
All right, brother.
It's getting pretty late here, bro.
All right.
But keep in touch, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. Any new information?
Thanks for having me on.
Keep fighting a good fight versus the K-Boss, man.
You too, bro. Yeah.
I just ignore him. I don't know what the fuck they say at this point. Fuck. All right. It's the K-Boss chat. All right. Here we go. All right, enough Drake talk. I'm Draked out, right? We're Draked out. Yo, what I did want to play is... So, pretty much, the criminal trial for the guy who did the hiring of the hitman who killed Dolph is happening now. His name is Hernandez Govan. And why can't I click on this? And in his trial, basically we're learning a lot more about what the hell kind of like, not only we kind of seen some about Dolph's last moments, but we're also kind of figuring out what was really behind this plot of the murder of young Dolph. And we get to find out about all these, bounties that were put on people's head, this and third. And give me 1 second. Okay. So hold on. So there's a few questions, and obviously people want to connect. Oh, you guys can see this. People want to connect Dolph's murder to eventually Yo Gotti. Obviously, his brother Big Jook was kind of connected, but he was fatally gunned down. And people are wondering, was Gotti like kind of involved? Did Gotti really put the money up, and was it his idea? And then people are kind of wondering, will Gotti get charged, right? Obviously, one of the shooters, which is Justin Johnson, he already got life. Cornelius Smith, I believe that's his name. He's the other shooter. He's testifying, and now he's testifying against this guy who's right here, named Hernandez Govan, who's a guy who supposedly Big Jook got to get the killers. But they're trying to see how many steps removed is it from not only Big Jook, but also was even Gotti involved at all, okay? Here we go. So they're asking the police about why didn't they interview Big Jook if they thought he was the one that was putting the money up for people to get killed.
If Cornelius Smith, I guess they've been asking you about these cameras and things like that. Let's just tell it how it is. Nobody during this investigation ever went to Pressure World to check about the cameras, right?
No.
All right. Nobody in this investigation ever went to AutoZone to check if the cameras were there.
No, we didn't.
Nobody went to the AutoZone that Cornelius Smith said he went to buy a car cover to see if there's a receipt or some surveillance or something like that inside the AutoZone, right?
No.
Okay. Those are things that would be important to try to corroborate a witness who obviously is the shooter in this case, to make sure he's not lying to you, right?
Yes.
And when people get caught, they generally lie to police. Is that uncommon?
Sometimes.
All right. Do people lie to get out of trouble?
Sometimes, yes.
Do people lie to cut deals?
Sometimes, yes.
Also, with regards to the area around Pressure Wall, it's a pretty busy area, right?
It is.
I think it's a big Juke stuff.
Sure what a city camera looks like. Mr. Cornelius, and you believe what he told his girlfriend.
Your Honor, it's not just thing. He's inserting what previous witnesses said testified to. Approach.
Okay. This is a bunch of.
Even in your report, you guys said Juke's the mastermind.
Here we go.
Let me ask it this way. If Cornelius Smith and Angela Arnold had repeatedly told you all that Juke was the one that was calling the shots, I think...
So the killer who was snitching and his girlfriend told the cops that Big Juke is the one who got the bounties on all the PRE members. So they're asking the cops, why y'all ain't gonna talk to Juke? Now, me personally, I believe that they left Juke out there because they wanted to get Gotti. And they knew Juke was not gonna give up Gotti, so they needed to get more on Juke that probably could implicate Gotti.
Even in your report, you guys said Juke's the mastermind. That would cause you to go interview Juke because that's an important piece of information, right?
Doing the investigation, yes.
All right. But as a lead detective, at no point during the investigation did we attempt to talk to Juke.
We hadn't made it that far, no.
We hadn't made it that far. Okay, it's been 4 years, and we know Juke died 2.5 years after the case. We know everybody had already been indicted within a few months of the arrest taking place. But we never went to talk to Juke, even after Cornelius and Angela repeatedly said he was the mastermind. I think that's the phrase you guys used in your Operation Cookie Monster slideshow, right?
But I am going to object to this line of question is it relevant?
Of course it's relevant. He's a suspect. The reason I ask is these people have come in here and testified and said they're telling the truth. So if those people, they've testified that they're telling the truth. They talked about Mr. Govan here, they talked about Juke, and we can quibble about who's in charge or whose house or who whatever. But clearly, Juke was a suspect in this case. But he was never followed up with at all by Memphis Police Department at any point in this investigation, even though he died 2.5 years later.
Not at the time, no.
Okay.
So essentially, the police are admitting that they kind of just left Big Juke out there.
One second.
Now, the girlfriend of the killer actually testified.
Arnold,
And how are you familiar, or where have you seen Mr. Govan?
a couple of times riding with Cornelius over his house.
Over whose house?
Over Govan's house.
Okay. So you and Cornelius Smith would go to Govan's house?
I would ride with him, yes.
Okay. Would you ever go inside?
No.
So how do you know it was Govan's house?
Because Cornelius told me.
Did you see Govan outside the home?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know where this home is located?
On Bradley Street.
Okay. What area of town is that?
Orange Mountain.
And on the times that you saw him at the home, did you ever speak to Mr. Govan?
No.
Okay. Have you ever spoken to Mr. Govan?
No.
And so did Mr. Smith ever tell you about discussions that he might have had with Mr. Govan?
Yes.
So what did he tell you?
He said something about a hit.
A hit on who?
On Dolph.
So Cornelius Smith told you that he talked about a Dolph hit with Hernandez Govan?
Yes.
Okay. So do you remember when Mr. Smith told you about that conversation?
I can't remember the exact date.
Okay. Was it in 2021?
I can't remember.
Okay. Was it hot or cold outside? Do you remember?
It was hot outside.
Okay. And so when Mr. Smith told you about that discussion he had with Govan, did he ever tell you about a dollar amount?
He mentioned a dollar amount.
Do you remember what that dollar amount was?
It was between $1 million and 1.5.
Okay. And so this discussion.
So it looked like maybe he was boosting, but like he told his girl like, yo, Big Jook wanted to go kill this nigga Dolph. He gonna pay us $1 million.
Discussion that y'all had, was it before Adolph Horton was killed?
Yeah.
Okay. And so did Mr. Smith ever tell you any specifics about this hit on Dolph?
No.
Okay. Did he tell you when and where they were going to do it?
No.
Okay. And to your knowledge, did Mr. Smith ever have, well, let me back up a little bit. Do you know someone by the name of Anthony Mims or Big Joe?
Yes.
Okay. To your knowledge, did Smith ever have direct contact with Big Joe?
No.
So how would he, if he communicated at all with Big Joe, how did he do that?
He said he would talk to Govan, send a message through him, and he would get a message to Jook. And Jook would talk to Govan, and Govan would tell them a message.
Okay. So Govan was the link between Mr. Smith and Big Joe?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm going to fast forward to November 17th, 2021. Do you know where you were that day?
Yes.
Where were you?
I was at his dad's house before I went home.
Whose dad's house?
Cornelius.
Okay. And was Mr. Smith there as well?
Yes.
How long were y'all there for?
Well, I had left. I can't remember.
When did you leave?
It was, I can't remember the time, but I know I had left and went home.
Did you leave alone?
Yes.
So Mr. Smith wasn't with you?
I had took him to work.
Okay. You took Cornelius Smith to work?
No.
Who did you take to work?
His dad.
Okay. And so when you left the house that day, was Cornelius Smith still at the house? Okay. Did you see him leave the house?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Do you remember him getting any calls that morning before you left his dad's house?
He got a phone call.
Okay, so Cornelius Smith got a phone call before you left?
Yes.
Do you happen to know who that call was from?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do you recall anyone coming to the house before you left?
I seen a car pulled up, but I can't tell you who was in it.
Okay. What kind of car was it?
It was a white car.
Do you know the make or the model of the car?
No, I don't.
Was it a truck? Was it a sedan?
It was a car. It wasn't an SUV or nothing.
Okay. And you said you don't know the other person in the car?
No, I don't.
Okay. Did you see Mr. Smith get into the car at all?
No, I had pulled off.
Okay. And where?
So she's basically like co-signing that there was a bounty and a hit that was actually put on Dolph. Okay?
Exactly did this person pull up to? Was it right in front of Cornelius's?
It was across the street.
Okay. First button. Okay.
All right. The defense actually cross-examines her.
My name is Manny Aurora. It just says original, so I don't get that. There's 2 more cameras.
Go back and get. Right.
All right. So when they ask you about having to go do anything, your first thing, and this is December 17th, exactly 30 days after the shooting, you said you don't remember to the police, right?
Yes.
And then they ask you, wasn't there something your boyfriend said that you forgot, or something that he needed to go get, or those kinds of things? They're prompting you, right, to tell you what you're supposed to say.
I wouldn't say that.
Okay. Let's talk about Govan. Play that clip, please.
See, that's something, cause drop, he figured I knew something. He was like, nah, my girl don't know nothing. My girl don't know nothing. And what's this guy's name? He say I'm right. Them phone call was found across the street from his.
The meeting, you said he got his phone supposedly, even though you didn't see it, but now you're saying he also got some money from Govan?
Yes.
Okay. How much money did he get? Okay. Car covers can cost $50 to $200. You have any idea what kind of car cover it was?
No, I don't.
Okay. What happened to the car cover?
I don't know.
Okay. Was it at your house when you guys bought it? Did you take it home?
No.
Where did you take it?
It was in my truck, but I don't know what happened to it.
Okay. With regards to the money that, well, first, are you testifying to this jury that Cornelius, prior to Dolph being killed, told you that he was going to do it?
He was telling me about meetings that they had, conversations that they had.
Okay. You're his girlfriend, and what did you think those meetings were about?
I didn't take it
Your Honor,
serious.
cause for speculation.
What did he tell you about these meetings prior to the murder?
He was just saying that they want to put a hit out on O'Donnell.
And that was okay with you as his
I
girlfriend?
didn't take it serious because at the time Cornelius was popping pills really bad.
Okay. Cornelius has lied to you a lot over your relationship, has he not?
Yes.
All right. And you've had domestic violence issues?
Yes.
He's stolen your TVs and sold them?
Yes.
He's taken your guns and sold them, right? The 9mm handguns. Is there any chance he used those guns as part of the shooting?
I don't think so.
All right. And how many shootings do you know Bobby to have done over the years?
I don't know.
More than 3 or 4, right?
I don't know.
I'm sorry, Cornelius. I asked you about Bobby. Cornelius took your guns, and you don't know how many times he may have used those, right?
I don't.
You do know that he pulled a gun on his child's mother sometime during your relationship. I'm just asking her if she knows. They've been dating for 9 years now. Speaking of when Cornelius has lied to you, he also told you he was going to get like $1.5 million for doing this, right?
Yes.
And then it became maybe $1 million?
Yes.
Then it became maybe $500,000?
I don't recall that.
Okay.
So it looked like this guy was a pillhead. He's lying to his girl how much money he's going to get for killing Dolph. By the way, I think that the actual money turned out to be like $30,000.
And then maybe $100,000, you remember that?
I don't recall that.
And then do you remember $50,000?
No, I don't.
Do you recall Jook's attorney paying for Cornelius' lawyer?
I don't.
Okay.
Have you ever worked?
Okay, so that's the girlfriend. And I know it's not the most exciting shit you guys give a fuck about, but I know a lot of people are interested to see how much they kind of try to connect this to possibly Gotti. And here it is. So they're talking about the killer. These killers call with Big Jook. Here we go.
Got Justin Johnson is yellow, and then Cornelius Smith is green, just to kind of so you can see the kind of the flow. Just iron me out of there to say he was on one. And then 7 with Hernandez Govan. Justin Johnson had 4 with Anthony Mims, and then he had 0 with Cornelius. And then Cornelius had 20 communications with Hernandez Govan, but he had 0 with Justin and 0 with Anthony Mims. And then this is just the actual raw records that just depicts what that is. So at the top you have Justin Johnson's records, and then at the bottom you have Cornelius Smith's records. Govan, and then below that, where it belongs to me. Correct. For telephone numbers.
Okay, so there's pointing out like some what phone calls are made. Not really getting much from that. And I think that might be it. The girlfriend of the killer said that she thought he was getting $1 million. Cornelius did they did testify.
The
video.
And who's all? Why did you have a mask on?
Because I wasn't part of their little crew, and you know, I ain't want to bring no little beef upon myself. He asked me to be quick, and then they go ahead and asked me to be in the video. That's why I'm standing like right behind him, because I ain't know none of them other guys.
How long from when you received a call from Justin to when he came to get you? To Govan's house on Bradley?
They come.
Okay. All right. Anyway, pretty much, if you ask me, I think this Hernandez Govan guy is gonna get he's gonna get convicted. Big Jook is dead. There's nobody for him to tell on other than maybe Gotti, but we don't know if Gotti's involved. And it looks like the killer is basically saying this is the guy that was gonna pay us. The girlfriend is saying, I heard about the plot. I brought him there. They were talking a lot. So he kind of looks cooked. Let me give you an update on Young Thug, who just he won in court. Brian Steele was back in court with him, Fulton County. And the judge actually dismissed the forfeiture case and basically allowed him to keep some of his vehicles. Here we go.
The state also argued that the trial judge...
Wait.
And we're going to have a trial on May 5th.
Sure.
Goes from I don't know.
Oh, never mind. You can't hear shit. Never mind. But he did score a minor victory, not minor victory, actually a major victory. He was allowed to keep his vehicles, and it was dismissed that the government would be able to seize any of his, personal items, whether for restitution or because it was involved in some of these crimes that he allegedly did or pled out to. So that's just not going to happen. All right. We'll kind of move on from that. Let's kind of get on to this Plaqueboymax and Fivio Foreign situation. So Fivio Foreign, I can't tell, Fivio Foreign was locked up for 6 months. Not a soul knew he was locked up, but he's now back out free, and he's doing podcasts, and look like he's trying to heat shit back up. So he was talking about his previous interaction with Plaqueboymax. Now, if you guys don't remember, there was a viral video where Plaqueboymax, Fivio, Smoke, basically, this is what happened. Let me see if I could, right here. He was telling them they can't.
When Lil TJ showed up unexpectedly to Plaqueboymax's stream, things started off great. Everyone was having a good time until TJ lit a blunt without asking if it was okay.
Who's smoking? Who's smoking? Yo, TJ.
What's up? Who the
Yo, look at Fabio's face.
Yo, this a B&B. You can't smoke in here. This shit go off.
Oh, this shit.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yo, I'm gonna keep it a buck, bro. If niggas smoking here, I'm gonna have to shut this bitch down. The stream done. Yo. Alright, brother.
Like and subscribe.
Okay. So that happens. Then I think Max got into it with little TJ, and then Fivio kind of came back around, and Fivio previewed a song called Plaqueboymax. I think this is it right here. Was it this?
Yeah, she like, boy, you better not cheat. I'm like, tell us how I gotta be. That's why I gotta leave. I smoke the bottle with barrel for the week. I got a lot of money. Need a streamer, make them hot as me. That's why I gotta leave. I smoke the bottle with barrel for the week. Goddamn, get off my Disney. Damn, get off my Disney. Goddamn, get off my Disney. Damn, get off my Disney. Damn, Disney. Damn, Disney. Damn, Disney. Damn, Disney. I'm not these rappers, I got real bands. In the crib, bustin' my tail, Lil Dance. I don't troll, I do it for the real fans. Play this song and turn.
I kind of like this song.
I want my little man and my real name Max. And I really got plaques. Yeah, double digits, no cap. I'm the real Plaqueboymax. 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 Plaqueboymax.
Okay, so he drops this song. He gets locked up. This song was actually having a little bit of motion. It looked like they were having like friendly banter. But then what happens is Fivio gets out of jail after being in there for 6 months. If you didn't know why he got locked up, he pointed a gun at a woman. And this happened in New Jersey, and they had him locked up because there's zero bail out here. They had him locked up for 6 months. He gets out, and then he starts talking about streamers. And this is what he said.
Rappers is cool, right? Streamers, and I got nothing against streamers, but I'm just telling you facts. The streamers got lit from having people on their stream. The cool people on their stream. So they're following. The rapper's not gonna go chill with this rapper and this rapper and this rapper to get like do collabs. A streamer going chill with this rapper today, tomorrow another one, tomorrow the mayor, tomorrow another influencer, tomorrow. It's like they understand. I went on the stream with Plaqueboymax, and I just say that he wasn't lit, but he wasn't as lit
as those at that time.
Right. So it's not the streamer that's lit. They like the platform. So it's what happens on the platform that people like the platform. People don't really like the individuals.
But look how fast that moment went.
Now, I disagree with that. I think streaming more than any other thing, like there's rappers who people like the songs and they don't like the rapper, especially when you blow up on TikTok and certain things like that. I think with the streamer, the platform is the person. Like, to say that, you know, obviously maybe Kyson, that's a bad example because he's the biggest streamer. To say that people like the platform that Kai got, but not necessarily Kai, the fans give a fuck about what Kai likes. So maybe the rapper is just trying to use the platform, but the fans are genuinely entertained by Kai Cenat. And even Max, they're genuinely entertained by Max. Whoever, Speed, Aiden Ross, they're genuinely entertained by the person they're watching. And this was, to me, a complete misunderstanding of what streamers are and why they have a platform and have an audience. So I don't think Fivio got it.
Super viral. You was able to take control of the moment, make it work in your favor, take whatever went, turn it positive in your favor, come back out, went viral with the record. But that's what I'm talking about, how powerful that whole streaming shit is. Like,
everybody's looking at it now. Rappers is cool, right?
Okay. So now he said that then we get Max, who responded. Because he was a little bit confused, like, why the hell? Let me see, do we have it up here? He was confused. While Fivio was talking smack, because he felt Fivio hit him up. Fivio had hit him up to do like a collab. So here we go.
He wasn't lit, but he wasn't as lit
as those at that time.
Right. So it's not the streamer that's lit. They like the platform. So it's what happens on the platform that people like the platform. People don't really like the individuals.
But look how fast that moment went super viral. You was able to take control of that moment, make it work in your favor, take whatever went, turn it positive in your favor, come back out, went viral with the record. But that's what I'm talking about, how Favi, if that's the case, oh my God, bro. Why are you asking me to do a song? Why? That don't make no sense. Fuck wrong with you?
I went on the stream with Plaqueboymax, and I just say that he wasn't lit. But he
all right, and then I think he calls Max. Or no, I think Max calls Favi. Here we go.
How do I wake up to a nigga trying to take a nigga on brand risk, gang? You just called me your heart. Yo, New York niggas, what does that mean when you call a nigga your heart? I called you and asked you why the fuck you was sneak dissing me on a podcast.
when you was just trying to get a collab out of jail. You was trying to get a first day out in the booth. You was trying to get a first day out in the booth. And then it didn't end up happening. You go on a podcast and start sneak dissing. I call you and ask why. You said it's all good. You know you my heart. I'm gonna see you soon. Was this nigga trying to backdoor me? Like, yo, bro, I don't understand niggas. I'm gonna check this shit out, bro. But like, gang, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Yo, New York niggas. Bro, what's up with y'all, bro? I fuck with New York heavy, gang. I'm from Jersey. Is this, nigga?
Nah. This was a call.
What's that? What's going on?
Rappers is cool, right?
Niggas don't care about streamers, nigga?
Oh, man. Yo, don't let them flip my shit, man.
Nigga, I just saw you say it. Mind you, bro, I'm telling these niggas, I'm like, yo, I fuck with this nigga, though.
Don't listen to them niggas, man. They gonna flip this shit around. You know how we rock already?
All right, bro.
Yo, I'm coming to see you.
All right, gang. I got you. All right, broski.
You know you my heart.
All right, gang.
Yo, that's like that New York terminology. You know you my heart.
All right, buddy. All right, love. You good, though?
All right.
You heard me? This nigga ain't hear me.
So that happens, and then all of a sudden, Fivio says he wants to box.
Yeah, boxing match, New York City. I just figured it out. I can't, like, somebody tell a Plaqueboymax nigga, we got to box. I see them hosting boxing matches. I see that's what they do. Let's do it. We could put up $1 million, $5 million, however you want to do it. I don't really care. Like, Desi, that's my nephew. That's my cousin. That's my family. I know his uncle Don Quan. Twin, Talil, that's my twin. But this nigga right here, he's my, that's you little Max. You little Max. How you trying to? I want to box. Somebody set it up. I don't got time. I got $1 million on the line. Or we could do $5 million. However you want to go. Like, you can stream it, put it on your stream. I don't care. That's how I'm coming now. I'm on the phone thinking you my man. That's how I'm coming now. Fuck it. I'm like, chill. That's how I gotta be. That's why I gotta leave.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I think this is all entertainment, and I think it's a little bit sad because the rappers are doing streamer antics. One thing I've said about streaming, like a lot of the streaming stuff is not real. They've realized to just do a never-ending soap opera and melodrama gets fans really engaged. So you're seeing fake relationships. You're seeing content with fake reactions. But, you know, I think people kind of get it. A lot of streaming has turned into wrestling because people's like insatiable appetite for drama. However, I think the rappers are kind of on it too. I think Fivio is playing around. I don't think Fivio want to box him. Yeah, I think Fivio remembered that the most viral moment he's had in probably maybe a couple years is because of that one incident with Max, and I think he's playing into it to keep the headlines going because he just got out of jail. Pretty sure he's about to drop some new music. But do I really think he gives a fuck or he's like upset at Max? No. I think he's doing the same thing that we attribute to the streamers. He's just basically just kind of clout chasing a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
Set it up. You set it up. Listen, I want to box Plaqueboymax. Set it up. You set it up.
Maybe he's serious. I don't know.
You want to box Plaqueboymax? Yo, Chayo Max. Yeah, I heard him. Fivio want to box you, man. Won't Kill, you got to get back. My son Phil want to go now. What he saying? Aiden, set it up. Aiden, set it up. Yo, I'm going to see you soon, Aiden. I'm going to talk.
Okay. This was the text right here. Nobody know I'm home yet, but we make nobody know I'm home yet. It's hilarious. I don't think nobody knew he was gone for a little bit. He says, "Oh, I bet what's the words?" And you tell me, "Let's go viral." Let's go viral. Yo, let me come on your stream and make a first day song.
Boxing match, New York City. I just figured it out. I can't,
Like,
yeah. Yeah, I think he's trolling a little bit. I think he's trolling, but who knows? He might be serious too. Anyway, just drop music, man. Just drop music. And also, I think Max is gonna get to that point. Like I've warned him before. Like a lot of these rappers, they're popping on your stream, but just the way how Fivio talked, they feel the same way. They don't respect you. They just envy or want your platform. And that's why when they show up, they don't give a fuck about you saying they can't smoke. They're just trying to get the eyeballs in front of their product. And I do give him some kudos because he's standing for his, where he's like, nah, if you're not going to at least, I said no smoking in here, like you could leave. He's going to have to do a lot more because I think these rappers, they all kind of feel like that. You know what I mean? Shit, I went through it. A lot of these rappers, they would look at you as, yeah, you got a big platform and everything, but they almost kind of look at you like, oh, you corny. Like, nigga, you should be happy that we fucking with you type shit, you know? So, anyway. Let me see what else. Give me a second, people. Say Klay Thompson reveals his favorite meal made by Meg Thee Stallion. Let me see this shit. They said this is Meg's finest dish. Here we go.
So Klay had never had spaghetti and catfish together before, and ever since the first time I made it for him, he asked me for this shit like every week.
You can bring it. Tell me what you think.
First bite.
Yeah.
So good. Flawless. It is the best thing I've ever tasted. My favorite meal. Catfish, spaghetti, and Hawaiian rolls.
Yo, somebody save this nigga Klay, man. Yo, the way Klay, every time Klay look over to the camera, man, that nigga look like Jordan Poole after he had to go back to practice with that nigga Draymond, man. This look on his face right here, he ain't trying to get popped in that big nose of his, bro. Come on, he know not to play around with her. He know not to play around with her.
And it just goes down.
Baby, what is giving?
Giving greatness. Oh, chill.
Looks good, babe?
It was amazing.
You could tell this is such a PR relationship. First of all, you could tell this nigga is shy as hell. Even when he on the basketball court, this nigga shy. She's trying to show us that, no, I got a regular relationship so bad, and he does have a good reputation, at least. Well, maybe not because he's had a couple girlfriends, but we look at him as non-problematic. And I think she's trying to let people know I could have regular relationships. I just think this nigga is scared of her, as he should. Look, that look was when, you know, when you were a kid and your mom tell you to finish your plate and you kind of look over like you just put all the food in your mouth. You ain't even like chew and swallow yet. You're like, is that good? Yeah, nigga. Yeah.
Didn't stand a chance. No, this. My favorite meal. Who would have thought? Catfish, spaghetti. Y'all
know Steph Curry and KD looking at this fool like, if only this nigga was this scared of missing a shot, we would have won a couple more championships. This nigga look terrified. He look petrified.
Here's some red sauce.
What's up, y'all? So Klay had never had spaghetti and catfish together before, and ever since the first time I made it for him, he asked me for this shit like every week.
You can bring it. Tell me what you think.
First bite.
Yeah.
So good. Flawless.
She got a camera in this nigga's face every 20 seconds.
Thing I've ever tasted. My favorite meal.
My favorite meal. Yeah, all right.
Catfish, spaghetti, and Hawaiian rolls. And it just goes down.
Yo, when she started beating this nigga's ass, it's gonna be crazy.
Baby, what is giving?
Giving greatness. Bro, chill.
Looks good, babe?
It was amazing.
Oh man, I keep telling y'all, man, this shit ain't making it to All-Star Weekend, man. If this relationship make it All-Star Weekend, this boy gonna be on an injury reserve, and it might not be a basketball injury. Trust, a little eye fracture, you know. She might hit that nigga with a stunner, DDT, something like that. Yo, Dr. Umar, bro, you gotta stop it. Dr. Umar, you've got to stop it. I'm doing what you do. Repeat yourself 3 times when you say anything. Dr. Umar, you got to stop it. Dr. Umar.
I sentence you both to 2,500 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man. I sentence you to 4,000 lashes for conduct unbecoming a black man.
Now, if y'all don't remember the last time we talked about Dr. Umar claimed that, his bank accounts has been frozen because somebody tried to scam him and they won't let him back in the bank account. So he needed money from his supporters on Cash App. Now we were like, all right, well, maybe this is not a bad thing because, he's not talking about the school. He's saying his personal funds got messed up. Then he comes back and said, oh, the school supposedly is going to auction because they said that I didn't pay something. You're like, huh? Now, this is the latest thing Dr. Umar is saying, Chad.
Program coming out for the ladies is called Lunch with the Doctor. It's called Lunch with the Doctor. You make a $500 donation to FDMG Academy, ladies. $500 donation to FDMG Academy, and you get a free lunch with Dr. Umar, restaurant of your choice in the state of Wilmington, Delaware. I said we got a new program called Lunch with Dr. Umar. Private lunch. Ladies, you got to donate $500 to the FDMG Academy, and I will take...
Yo, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. Dr. Umar is really the prince of panhandling. This is getting out of fucking control. This is getting out of control. You know the worst thing about Dr. Umar? He's always asking, he always got a hand out, asking for some shit. And then he disguises it as a donation. That might be why he's in trouble now. You're calling everything a donation, nigga. Just say, you might as well just hold up a sign like some of them bums you'll see, especially when you go to New York City and coming back. Yo, I need $50 for weed, man. Stop saying we're donating for a school.
You to lunch, private lunch, any restaurant you want in the state of Delaware. It's called Lunch with the Doctor, and it costs you $500. You don't pay for the lunch, I pay for the lunch. Any restaurant in the state of Delaware. Oh, yes. Brothers, don't hate. We got to stop hating. Brothers, we got to stop hating. Don't hate my ninja, because if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, I ask your wife if she want that luncheon. If I ask your baby mom, do she want that luncheon with the doctor? We know what she gonna say, ninja. Don't test my intellectual gangster. If I roll up on your girlfriend, your live-in prisoner, you call a girlfriend. If I roll up on your live-in prisoner, your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend, who ain't there because she want to be, she there because she got to be. If I roll up on your romantic prisoner, my brother, if I roll up on your romantic prisoner.
Yo, I keep telling y'all, man, when Dr. Umar was sold to me, he was like this, basically this futuristic Malcolm, Martin Luther King type of nigga. Then I started seeing basically the guys started talking about who got the best type of pussy. And I was like, Now he's talking about dates with, what's going on with Dr. Umar, man? And he's still begging for donations. Here's what I could never understand. Why don't he just sell a product? Stop asking for random donations. Also, if you're going to ask for donations and say this was going to a good cause, because supposedly the school is supposed to be a good cause, why isn't there a website where you could track every donation coming in? And then why are you taking some of these donations via like PayPal? No, not PayPal, like Cash App.
You call a girlfriend who living with you because she got to, not because she want to. Do she want that lunch date with the doctor? Do your wifey want that lunch date with the doctor? I think we all know the answer to that. Me and you are not the same. I keep telling you that. Me and you, we not the same. You not 6'3", dark chestnut cocoa brown with the North Philly beard. You ain't
with the North Philly beard.
Leo King, Ninja. You ain't Pan-Africanist #1. Nobody flying you to every continent to hear what you got to say. Only me. Don't make me take my t-shirt off and turn into King Kong right now. Don't make me beat my chest. Don't make me beat my chest. King Kong. Stop playing. Program coming out for the ladies is called Lunch with the Doctor. It's called Lunch with the Doctor.
Niggas say, yo, the lunch is free. I'm paying for it. After you pay me $500. This is great.
You make a $500 donation to FDMG Academy, ladies. $500 donation to FDMG Academy, and you get a free lunch with Dr. Umar, restaurant of your choice in the state of Wilmington, Delaware. I said we got a new program called Lunch with Dr. Umar. Private lunch. Ladies, you got to donate $500 to the FDMG Academy, and I will take you to lunch, private lunch, any restaurant you want in the state of Delaware. It's called Lunch with the Doctor, and it costs you $500. You don't pay for the lunch. I pay for the lunch. Any restaurant in the state of Delaware.
Yo, this nigga Dr. Umar swear he's Chris Brown, man. You've seen them Chris Brown meet and greets? That's what Dr. Umar think he doing, man.
Oh, yes. Brothers, don't hate. We got to stop hating. Brothers, we got to stop hating. Don't hate my ninja, because if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, if I ask your wife if she want that luncheon, if I ask your baby mom, do she want that luncheon with the doctor, we know what she gonna say, ninja. Don't test my intellectual gangster. If I roll up on your girlfriend, your live-in prisoner, you call a girlfriend. If I roll up on your live-in prisoner, your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend, who ain't there because she want to be, she there because she got to be. If I roll up on your romantic prisoner, my brother, if I roll up on your romantic prisoner, you call a girlfriend who living with you because she got to, not because she want to. Do she want that lunch date with the doctor? Do your wifey want that lunch date with the doctor? I think we all know the answer to that. Me and you are not the same. I keep telling you that.
Jesus.
Me and you, we not the same. You not 6'3", dark chestnut cocoa brown with the North Philly beard. You ain't Leo King, Ninja. You ain't Pan-Africanist #1. Nobody flying you to every continent to hear what you got to say. Only me. Don't make me take my t-shirt off and turn into King Kong right now. Don't make me beat my chest. Don't make me beat my chest. King Kong. Stop playing. Program coming out for the ladies is called Lunch with the Doc.
Yo, Dr. Umar, man. Not like this, brother. Not like this. And I think everybody's giving him a lot of grace, but the begging is getting out of hand, man. The Prince of Panhandling is doing too much. He's doing too much, man. All right. By the way, there's some chick who's like breaking down. Like, I don't know why Dr. Umar is kind of looking like he's going out bad now, bro. Like, I don't know.
Call Dago.
Oh, my bad.
You don't do any of that stuff when you run around doing podcasts. Now, I don't have a problem doing a podcast. There are a few podcasts I will absolutely do. But he's on TV. He's doing something all the time.
This is somebody named Yvette Carnell. She says she got the tea on Dr. Umar.
He's always on somebody's show. He's always in another country. He's always at an event. You need, when you're doing something that has never been done, you better sit down somewhere and shut up and figure it out. I told y'all Umar was half crazy when he went on Joe Budden's pod. At the end of the pod, he listed 20 things that he was about to do. I'm going to have a women's conference, a kids conference, a journalism conference. I'm going to have a conference for relationship. I'm going to have a conference for people who like peanut butter. I said, did y'all hear this? This man listed out 10 different kinds of conferences that he's going to have. I said, do you understand how hard it is to put on one conference? But that's what happens when you're not a real leader and you just sitting around playing dolls. You remember when you had a doll and you was like, this doll work at the school, and this doll wash cars, this doll right here, he drive post office truck, and you were a kid. But when you get adult, you figure out, hey, in order to do this, I don't have all of the competencies for it. You can't have all the competencies. So who else can do it? There's no way I'm gonna write the do what I do and write and be good enough to write this reparations book, right? So Aisha jumps in and she writes it. She has that expertise. Everybody don't have everything on it. Let's just say ain't no board. It's just day school, because that's what I think. The $250K. We're talking about a boarding school. That's how you always running around like a big old child. Let me just put up a couple. Like I said, we're not gonna be here long night. I don't want to spend no. I got stuff to do. I ain't got time to be. Oh, this man's crazy. I'm telling you, it's something going on here. Oh, so we said license and accreditation. That's $50 to $250K. We're talking about a boarding school. That's how he started out. Initial staff and recruitment $200K to $500K, and that's low, because he's talking about. That is that's lowballing. And we can just let's just say it's a day school. That's still lowballing it. Let's just say ain't no board. It's just day school, because that's what I think we ended up with. He lowballing it. Let's go to marketing, admissions, and outreach. That's $50K to $150K. Let's go to working capital, $1 million to $2 million to cover initial months before tuition flows in. Typical startup costs, low end $4.5 to $5 million. High end $15 million if you're building or gut rehabbing an older property. This is stupid. This has always been stupid. And for some reason, we're just unwilling to call a thing. And we will sit back for years, not months, not days. We will sit back for years and say, oh, I got love for the brother. Let's give him a chance. Hey, listen to me.
Y'all think Dr. Umar done scammed us?
I can have love for you and say, you can't do this. And get them people their money back. Get them people their money back. You have to be able to, you cannot, we got you 5 years in, we got a building. You don't have a building that works, sir, for what you're trying to do. And you don't have the money for that. And I don't see you somewhere working to get that capital in. Like, we shouldn't even see Umar unless somebody has him out somewhere fundraising. We shouldn't even see him. You see me when I'm out somewhere I'm here because I don't get it. It's apparent to anybody with eyes to see, but we don't have eyes to see. We give all of the wrong people a chance. Everybody who is trying to hustle, steal, here they come in. We came and we told y'all, hey, Jay Morrison had a bankruptcy. He said he sold his own dairy to crack. You think about it as a community, what we could have done with all of that money. You think about our politics, you think about how we could help each other, and there has to be some type of return. Like I said, with ADOS and the ADOS Advocacy Fund, I have done.
All right, man. Shout out to Umar, but I ain't gonna lie. It's starting to look crazy for Umar, bro. Starting to look real crazy for the Honorable Dr. Umar. All right, let me see what else is going on. Fat Joe speaking about Gunna's album. He said he felt guilty that he had to listen to a Rat's album, but he said it was fire.
You got some guys that are the hottest guys in the game. Rats. Like, I get a phone call from somebody, he says, yo, man, you got to check this album out. Ever since I assumed you a rat, your people ain't with you no more. I'm not listening. I'm off you, no matter what you do. And I get on the plane, and I listened to this album. This album was so good. I was so guilty of this. I listened to this album. I said,
didn't know you talking about Gunna. I'm not saying throw the flag. Throw the flag. Now you got a flag. You got a flag. You have a flag. Cause we said we wasn't mentioning names like that. But what
just said all of that and what?
All I said the album was fire. There's a million rats out
shout
there.
that you like his album.
Nah.
And
so what happens
you liked it. You just said.
Yo, one thing I don't like about, again, and maybe I'm being a hypocrite here, but I don't like all of these like guys who come from tough backgrounds now trying to pick and choose with this, you know, and when I mean pick and choose, they're acting like they're conflicted over this rat stuff. I'm not conflicted over it. Whether Gunna is a rat or not a rat, he's making some good music. I like it. I do want to say, though, for all of these guys who claim they're gangsters and they come from tough backgrounds, if we've never seen you call out a rat that's from your community or that you've grown up with, leave Gunna alone, man. Because, again, everybody's selectively, like, you know, when they don't know Gunna or they're just piling on. Fat Joe. In Fat Joe from the Bronx, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of rats from the Bronx. Figuratively and literally. And maybe Fat Joe should speak on those people being rats first. You get what I'm saying? But we're not going to hear Fat Joe speak on them. And, you know, it kind of, there's almost this like, oh, yeah, we don't fuck with Gunna type of vibe. But the honest truth is nobody gives a fuck. And everybody's acting like they're so against the idea of what Gunna did. Like, do I think he cooperated? He pretty much did. Right? Even I know it was a plea. I know it was out for plea, but still, like yes, ma'am, it's a YSL's a criminal gang. I felt like that aligned with telling. But regardless, here's the thing. I think that what I've learned about a lot of these street dudes, they all know a few niggas who telling from their hood. Same with Young Thug. This is why, like, even when Young Thug says, I'm like, Young Thug is acting like he had no idea that people were telling. Nigga, everybody who I talked to from Atlanta said his ops, them YFN niggas, was telling him for the longest, yo, you know your guys are snitching on us. And he didn't care. He didn't care until he felt he got snitched on. So, again, you know, it's easy to kind of like be like, oh, I'm not like this guy over here. But I think everybody selectively picks and chooses which rat they want to campaign against. And it's easy to kind of like act like you're not with the Gunna train, even though I see most people come back around. That's why they keep hedging their bets. They're like, oh, yeah, he's a rat, but he's making good music. You're hedging your bet. But I'm wondering if Fat Joe would call out all the rats from the Bronx. There's a lot of them. You should call them out. Just like how he's calling out a rat from Atlanta. Atlanta ain't close to the Bronx. Regardless, if it takes being a quote-unquote rat for these artists to lock in and focus and actually make good music, because the antics and all the other theatrics will not save you when it's music that only matters, shit, I guess maybe there should be more rats. Because Gunna has realized that an interview won't save him, people liking him won't save him, a cosign won't save him. Only good music will save him, and he's in fact delivering that. So maybe if rappers got a little bit knocked off their pedestal, and even if I guess they're seen as whatever, if they could lock in with music, people would probably identify with them a little bit more. Gunna did do an interview, but I don't think he said it on the interview. What did he say on the interview? What did he say? Did an interview a month ago? Yeah, but he don't be talking about nothing in the interview.
You made hits. I made hits.
That you just didn't listen to me. Like with that one thing, you know what I mean? I'm glad you maneuver with it. And then I think when I play it back, I try to grab something that's just, like you might hear something out of that whole tape. You like, oh, this it right here.
Yeah.
And I'm taking that and I'm gonna build off of that.
Yeah. I think that's the freest way to create. Cause it's like you responding to it. Like that's the naturalist way to approach.
Now, remember this song that I played, and this was the preview of a song that didn't drop, but it was supposed to be on Baby's album that never came out. And this was the song where Thug was kind of like putting these guys on blast, and he put Gunna on blast, but he also put Yak Gotti on blast. Check it out. Yak tricked me for some years. I didn't know he was telling. Now, good timing by Vlad, because Vlad got Yak Gotti on Vlad TV. And he explained, or he was confronted with what Thug said, and this is what he said.
All right, here we go. Yak Gotti. Welcome to Vlad TV.
You did. What's up, Vlad?
You know, look, I had your lawyer, Doug Weinstein, already on here, so it's only right that I have you.
For shit, sure. Shout out, Doug.
Well, congratulations on beating your case, man. That was huge.
Appreciate that. I don't think nobody done told me that, Vlad. Not nobody, but you feel me? Not nobody done did a podcast.
No, man, congratulations. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. To actually go all the way to the end and win it with a jury verdict, and not go all the way to the end and win it with a jury verdict and not guilty, not a plea deal.
That part.
Big deal. Congratulations. Congratulations on really having the guts to do that, because most people try to, tap out at the very end. Not you, though.
Yeah.
Not you. Well, we have a lot to talk about, but I think the first thing we really need to cover is that Young Thug dropped a snippet from a song, and he mentioned you in it.
Tight shit.
You heard this. He said, Yak Gotti tricked me for some years. I didn't know he was telling.
I tricked who?
He said, Yak Gotti, this is Young Thug rapping. He said, Yak Gotti tricked me for some years. I didn't know he was telling.
Who I told on?
Then he also said in that same verse, he said, only reason I fuck with you, Gunna, it was because of Troop.
Long live Troop too, though, but who I told on? We gotta address it. Like, we're gonna call a spade, we're gonna address it.
So let's address it.
Who paperwork I'm in, or who did a day.
Now, we played this video already. I think Thug was talking about the infamous interrogation footage where he's eating a bunch of wings, and he said, yo, I ain't gonna cap with you. You let me out. If you let me out, I could go get the information you need on them niggas.
Or some time for Yak Gotti. You know what I mean? That what this shit come down to. What I did that nobody else ain't do.
Take it all the way to the end.
All right, then. Fact was a fact.
Well, look, your lawyer actually made a statement about this. Doug. He said Yak did not say a single thing about Jeff in his interviews with the cops. I don't know where this is coming from. Yak had the opportunity to turn on Young Thug during the trial to get out of the case easy. He never took it. He stood tall and took it all the way to the jury.
Tight shit, but at the same time, I ain't got nothing to turn on because nigga ain't did shit. You see what I'm saying? So it just still to the point where, like, if they trying to make me do this or say this just for I can't do that. First of all, that ain't even true. Second of all, it like, I stand on more principle than that. 9 times for everybody else to stand on the principle.
I mean, did that bother you when you heard that?
I ain't tripping. Ain't nothing bother me at that point. Ain't nothing I ain't seen. I done seen everything down under the sun but there.
Well, is he referring to the interrogation video that came out a while ago? Is that what he's referring to?
He probably like, you gotta talk to him. But if you are, it like, what, like, who did the day for me? Who I told on? Who got locked up about this shit?
I feel you.
It is what it is, though.
Have you and Thug contacted each other at all?
I ain't contacting no nigga. Nigga can't contact me, so like, it is what it is.
Oh, I think he has the whole thing where he can't be in contact with certain types of people, so.
Tight shit.
All right. Not you, though, because you were found not guilty, so you can talk to whoever you want.
Tight shit.
All right. Thank you for addressing that.
Oh, boy. And I think the Douglas Weinstein dude is here. No.
All right.
All right.
Thank you for addressing that.
All righty, then. Okay, let me see what else is going on. All right, Vlad. Okay, Vlad. All right, so Gunna's still doing his thing. By the way, the Billboard charts came back, and it looks like, let me see, Gunna sold 80K, which I think is pretty good. Like, you know, no bundles, no nothing, just on the strength of music and you know, playlisting. His album did pretty good. Yeah, he sold 80,000 with his record. I think the last one, that's what it's called. Yeah. Gunna sells 80K. He debuted number 3 on the Billboard charts. And yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you, I still think it's a W for him. His last project, I think it did around like 67 or something like that. So this is a, you know, he's kind of finding the medium now. It's clear that, number one, with or without Young Thug being out, or with or without Young Thug support, he's gonna have a career. As long as he keep putting up good music, he's gonna be good. So I don't think he's the hottest artist right now, but like, he's kind of still in isolation. So selling 80 while kind of being blackballed to a certain extent, especially from Atlanta artists, even though there are some Atlanta artists who fuck with him, I think that's some good shit. So congratulations to him. All right, let me see. What is this? What is this? Blueface mom reacts to viral AI-generated photos of him in prison. So first off, that's not my son's skinny little fingers and his hands are tatted. What the hell? What the fuck? Why is Blueface doing a split? So the mom said, first of all, that's okay. Yeah, that's just AI. But AI's gotten so pretty good. I don't know why Blueface even took those pictures. Oh, I guess people were calling him a snitch because they said he was in PC. Bro, you know what's so funny? And this is why I think Whack is so good. You could use the accusation of being a snitch to get any nigga to crash out and do whatever you want. Yeah, so these are the original pictures. Yeah, you could use the idea or the accusation that somebody's a snitch and they will crash the fuck out. I see why Whack does it, because I think Whack does that pretty good. Like, he'll kind of like throw it in the air like, you working. Now somebody like, think about Zay Osama. Zay Osama was ready to say, yo, I'm going to kill Whack, right? And then, did y'all notice when the conversation was happening, Whack says something very interesting. Whack says, so you're telling me, like, it's mad funny. Let me go play it. And I was just like, this is why Whack's smarter than the average beer. Like, I don't know if the guy's on supervised release, but like, you're going to walk yourself into a jail cell fucking with Whack 100. Trust. Here we go. It was like, right.
Where'd you get this from? Don't say nothing. I don't even want to keep arguing.
What Mimo doing? I seen him. Hey, what's up, big dog?
Hey, Mimo a whole different. Listen, Mimo a whole different person from me. On snitch gang, that's disrespectful gang.
So you said the spot. I want to make sure we got this right.
Once Whack says so, I'm gonna make sure we got this right. This is how when they're typing up the indictment, they start like quoting right here.
You don't want to squabble, it's gunplay. That's what you're saying, right?
You don't want to squabble, it's gunplay. That's such a wild thing to say. But he got him charged up, so of course he's gonna just say yes.
On my life, you play on my name like that.
No, that's what you scared. You say you scared, little boy.
Hell yeah, it's gunplay. Nigga play.
Oh no. Like, that was the moment right there. It's like, yeah.
I'm talking about a snitch.
I'm glad you said
talking
that.
about a snitch.
I'm glad
you better know you. I swear to God, you can call anybody in LA right now. Even probably some people you know. I done probably robbed their ass or blew their ass down.
Oh no.
So you said
what you talking about? I do this.
And then Whack gets the additional confirmation. So you said when you see me, you're gonna shoot me, right?
robbed their ass or blew their ass down.
So you said
fuck you talking about? I do this. This is my lifestyle, dude. I'm not no internet nigga. I'm not no internet nigga.
So I want to make sure I hear this right. Yo, Wack is too good. I want to make sure I hear this right. Wack, you know damn well you heard it right the first 3 times.
You on the internet, you on the internet doing a lot of work.
You said I'm a
for a nigga to be on parole, you feel real comfortable.
And Wack know his criminal history with anything. You're on parole.
Snitch, right?
Right ass
snitch, right? You said I'm a snitch, right?
Yeah, you cooperate. I believe.
All right, then. There's nothing else to talk about. What we talking for?
You the one talking.
We don't bump heads. I'ma see you before you see me. I can promise you.
That's cool.
That's not what you want, Wack.
I be there Thursday. Hey, bro, who you, nigga? I've been doing it before you, little boy.
You don't want to do it no more. You love your life. I don't.
That was a crazy line. You love your life. I don't. Wow. Wack's like undefeated, man. Hopefully he doesn't get locked up. I mean, what's his name? Osama. All right. YK Osiris says that he's gonna be the biggest R&B singer. Nah. Oh, this is the part we didn't play. The killer said that the other dude gave him the gun to kill. What's the name of it?
The gun jammed over paper out. Woo. Justin then went back and told Quick that me and Bobby so-called messed it up or whatever. So, you know, Quick was like, y'all had y'all masks on. Justin them told him we ain't have our masks on. I ain't have my mask.
Dope man knew that this was going on, and he asked
right,
you to have
he
a
the
mask.
one gave me the gun to go out there.
And he asked you to have a mask on.
Right. He asked me. Okay. And he was saying, like, Justin was telling me that we messed it up or whatever, and that's when Bob was like, he ain't doing nothing with nobody, he ain't getting involved in it or whatever, because Quick believe everything Justin them say, and, you know, at that time, Quick basically telling me, like, you with Johnson and you with Justin them, and you know what I'm saying, handle the bid, and you want to get this money. Since Bobby acting like he acting, you know what I'm saying?
I don't know what you said.
Since Bobby acting like he acting, he told me to get with Justin and them, you know, since Bobby had did that and the gun jammed over paper out. Woo.
So Go Man told you to get with Justin?
Yeah, Quick told me to get with Justin.
Okay. And what reason was he telling you to get with Justin?
So we could find one of the paper out any artists to get this money, you know, and.
So, what would Go Band gain out of you all getting a bounty or hit on one of the paper route?
He was getting a cut out of it. You know, he supposed to got $10,000 for me.
No matter who you hit or if it was.
Nah, Young Dog, he supposed to got $10,000. I did $100,000. I did $50,000. He was getting $10,000 out of it.
So throughout the summer, going into the fall, did you and Justin and Go Band ever meet?
Yeah, we'll meet up over Quick House.
So Go Band told you to get with.
You know, it's always an open and shut case once one of the shooters is on the stand. He's connecting all the dots. All right, let me see. Prosecutor sick. What the fuck? Chat, I need some topics, chat. What the fuck? Yo, it's 2:46 already? Holy shit. Got a lot over there. Is there nothing else going on in hip hop, man, but this Drake lawsuit, dog? Okay, have y'all seen the Chris Brown meet and greet pictures? This shit been going crazy this year. Chris Brown meet and greet. They're having a whole competition with the Chris Brown meet and greet pictures. So people have, what the fuck? She brought her baby scan to The meet and greet was C Breezy? Yeah, C Breezy's doing the most. What the fuck? They're doing handstands, all type of shit. Damn. Imagine your girl up on Chris Breezy like that. This one right here, Chris Brown's taking off her panties. Yo, does these girls got boyfriends or like nobody gives a fuck? Grok doing overtime right now. Yeah, this is Chris Brown taking off Shorty's panties. How much is this fucking meet and greet? Oh, it says $2,000. Most sources say it was $2,000 for Chris Brown to... Oh, it was a garter, not a panty. For Chris Brown to remove it. Jesus Christ. Oh, there's a couple niggas taking pictures with him too. Okay. What the fuck? All right, let me just click off of this right now. All right, but anyway, I want to see what Chris Brown's tour is grossing. Let me see if I can find touring data. Yo, I had to damn near cut my phone off when Chris Brown came to town. Everybody was hitting me. Let's see if we can find some Chris Brown revenue data. No? Is his info not being reported? I know he's selling out everywhere. Yeah, they don't have his data. Okay, whatever. We looked at that before. Chat, where the fuck are the topics at, bro?
Just walk around. $100. $100? Yeah. No.
Every single time I tell myself, man, you young, man, it's okay to not have a wife right now. You don't need to settle down. You just slow down, just live your life. These old heads prove me right every single time. Give me the wife. Give me the wife. Slim Thug, Shaquille O'Neal, Shannon Sharp. They just some old losers. Oh, my God. Oh my God. I was reading a book or listening to a podcast. I can't remember, but it was just talking about some things that you don't want to be as a man. One of the things you don't want to do is just chase women your whole life. Being a womanizer, that should never, ever add up to being anything that's taking you away from your family and family time, isn't taking away from the natural joy of your life, the natural wealth in life and living, making life worth living, chasing money your whole life. That makes life not worth living. Who are you getting all this money to spend it with if it's not family? You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a womanizer, you chase women your whole life, who are you enjoying? Are you just trying to prove to other men that you are the best predator? I don't understand. This ain't the jungle. It really be baffling to me. Like, Shaq, if you really was concentrated on your passions and your families and staying disciplined, you literally could have been the best player to ever live. Easy. You run around chasing tail and eating cheeseburgers and run. Come on, man. Not even showing up to workouts, no discipline. I don't want to be like a man like that. I don't care how much money Shaq got. I would never want Shaq's life. To pass away that way? No. I don't want that. Slim Thug does so much for the community. But now, we got to see you in this loser light because you can't just settle down and develop your character enough. Be a womanizer, you chase women your whole life. Who are you to be with one woman? You chasing around women 15 years younger than you, 20 years younger than you. It's just a bad look, no matter how much you do in the community.
if you don't have the discipline and the wherewithal to keep a good woman by your side, a lot of people gonna look at you sideways. I'm just saying, Shannon Sharp, you could be mentoring the youth. You grew up poor in the country. You could be helping out these young men in a personal way, not just giving money, but you running around with OF girls, getting caught up, getting lawsuits, losing your money. I'm telling you, man, all of these things take you away from the natural joys and the natural wealth of life. Y'all not enjoying the fruits of y'all labor. I know y'all gonna, a lot of dudes gonna say, man, I'll take Shaq life any day. Well, that's you, and that's why you, and I'm me. Cause I don't need all the money in the world. I need enough money with my family to be with one woman. You chasing around women 15 years younger than you, 20 years younger than you. It's just enough money where my family can feel financially stable and free to do what we like to do. That's how much money I need. I got a number in my head. I don't need the number that you need me to have. You know what I'm saying? I don't need to have all the women in the world. I need to have the confidence and swag to back the right woman. That's all I need. I need enough confidence and swag and character development to back the right woman, to make that my wife. And I'm cool. I'm Geechee. I don't need all of that. I want to have my family time and my passions in life, and that's it. Hiking, whitewater rafting and stuff. Montego Bay. You know what I'm saying? Martinique with the fam. I'm not doing what y'all doing. I don't like what y'all doing. It don't even sit right with me. It's loser activity to me. Enough money.
Now, I don't know what this thing is talking about. I'll definitely say I do think, family should be a goal of everybody, but I think it's equally loser behavior to sit around and be obsessed with whatever the hell Shaq, Shannon Sharp, Slim Thug, and the rest of these people are doing. Focus on yourself. You know what I mean? Different strokes for different folks. Not because you are into family and this and third means that, even though I ain't gonna lie to you, it was kind of alarming that me and Shaq was going after the same chicks. But hey, it is what. Yo, Shaq tried marriage before, man. Didn't he try with Shawnee O'Neal? What she do? Cheat on him or something? I don't know. I think he just said, man, he's just gonna be in the streets and he gonna do what he want to do. So, yeah, it is what it is. He a grown ass man. If this is what gives him happiness at this point of his life, he's worked most of his life to get to the point that he's at. Who am I to tell him how he should live his life? So, I don't have an issue with it. I don't think it's affecting me. So again, maybe his actual family is looking at it like, damn, dad, like you sit over here trying to fuck like 21-year-old girls. Like, what the hell are you doing? You don't spend time with us. You're chasing these chicks from hotel to hotels. But I don't necessarily, I don't care that much that I would think it's an issue like how this guy sees it. This guy sees it as a big issue. Fuck. What is this?
Surveillance video shows a person boldly moving in the dark to pour liquid on a Midlothian home around 1 a.m. Tuesday. The same person sets fire and runs away. Inside the Wilson home where the fire is set were 2 kids and 6 adults, including Mila Rivera.
It hit me because I smelled gas, and gas is like really, really strong.
Her sister woke her up and her father, who thought he was dreaming.
I grabbed cups, fill both big cups up, I opened the door.
Surveillance video shows a person
throw the big cups because there was a fire in front of the door.
Emergency crews responded as his wife made an unsettling discovery. The fire was set intentionally.
I was shocked. I'm like, this can't be real. Who would do this? Like, we keep to ourselves.
Midlothian police confirm an arson investigation at that home. Police tell us that they are working several leads. Mila even posted the video to help work the crime on social media.
I wouldn't wish this on anyone.
throw the big cups because there was a fire in front of the door.
I'm sorry, it's just like I have a 1-year-old daughter. And it's like, you know.
First person I gotta check is your 21-year-old boyfriend, man. That's it. It's probably a boyfriend or one of the women that's in that house. Yeah, that's the first people I would check. Let me see what's up with this.
I see the messages. Everybody saying, oh my God, Kev, when you gonna do the Chris Brown challenge? When you gonna do the dance challenge? You know what? You ask and you shall receive.
Because you never had a like this before.
Hey, what the are you doing, man?
I'm sorry. Okay.
Why would you say those lyrics?
All right, man.
It's a dance challenge.
No, Joe, can't do it.
Why the did you say that?
Man.
Come on, man, stop.
All right.
Seriously, man. Seriously, I'm about to do it.
Okay.
As far as that situation, I don't feel like that was a crash out situation. That was a situation where I was in a relationship with a guy for 6 years, and a girl was introduced to me by this guy during a birthday trip, and next thing I know, she was pregnant. I don't think that's a crash out. I think that was a real, I was reacting in real time to being lied to, and you know what I'm saying? So it just was what it was. And I still never made it about the girl, because one thing about me, it's always the guy.
Shout out to Dreezy, man. I want to hear a record.
My biggest year maybe rapping, I found out the same year that my son has autism. He went from being very verbal to just start deteriorating. Like he stopped talking. Me not being there, especially when I tell my son, you'll never not see me a day in your life. That's why I don't even like talking about it, man.
Uh-huh.
But that take a lot out of me, because it's like I'm doing it for him.
Right.
So I can't really, you know what I'm saying? I can't stop doing it, because then how he gonna eat everything that he could ever want. You know what I'm saying? He got. It takes a toll on me though, because I'm not there. You know what I'm saying? And
All right, man. I ain't got no more topics, man. I'm getting the fuck off here. 3 o'clock. I'm out of here. I'm gonna try to get my schedule back on deck. Hopefully tomorrow I can stream a little bit earlier, because this late night streaming shit is not. Yeah, we're at 4 hours, and it's 3 o'clock. Not good. So I'm getting the fuck off here. I'll be back tomorrow. I feel like we only talked about Drake today. It kind of sucks. Jesus Christ. Forgive me. Yeah. Hit me with some topics. We'll get to it tomorrow. But it's 3 o'clock, chat. I got to fix my sleep schedule. Otherwise, we're just going to go down a path of me eventually trying to miss a day, trying to fix it. So let me try to fix it today. All right, chat. I love y'all. I will see y'all tomorrow.